Do 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 do. Come on. Come on live. Come on live. Come on live. Am I live? Talk to me. Talk to me, guys. Talk to me. All right, so I think I'm live now. I've been doing these lives every week, Sundays, and I do it to keep in touch with you guys. You know, that's why I do it. This week, I'm going to be talking about some local news. Just to kind of change it up, I'm going to talk about some local stuff that's happening here because it's crazy. We just saw something today, like literally a few hours ago. This happened. I'm going to show you guys. And then I'm going to talk about something. It's going to be pretty dark. So I want to start this off with something positive. What's positive is, man, Yuri and I have been doing really good, you know, and there's still problems and stuff, you know, it's still things we have to deal with, but for the most part, guys, our life is good. We love living here in Colorado. Colorado's awesome. We have a lot to be thankful for. The economy here is great. The volume's low. Okay, let me see if I can fix that. The economy here is great. We love to live here. It's a great place to live. So I'm not trying to talk down on Colorado or anything. There's been we've been really blessed, and it's all based off of our hard work. We have a long way to go, but things are going really good for us, and I think Colorado's growing really fast. Like this city that we're in, Colorado Springs area, is growing like crazy, and I think it's because the economy is good. Their laws are more free here than other places. Way more free than places than California or any other state, in my opinion. People, for the most part, just kind of let you live your life, and that's kind of the direction that they're going with Colorado. So that's why we like it a lot. It's kind of grown on us, and so it's been going. The cost of living is going up. It has gone up. Corey just asked me what's the cost of living. It has gone up. It's way less than places like New York or California or any of those large places. But it's not cheap anymore. It used to be a little lower. For example, the rents are up, and it's just because people are just coming here in droves. There's a lot of opportunities happening here right now. It's really good. But that being said, I want to just talk to you guys about something that literally happened a few hours ago. Yuri and I, the family, were on the road, and we literally drive past this wreck that happened where a charter bus, it looked like it flipped or something. I'm not sure, but in the news is saying that it actually hit and I'm going to open up the topics, guys, so feel free to ask whatever questions you want to ask. I just wanted to this just needs to be talked about. So I just released a video a couple hours ago, shortly after it happened, where there was this crash that happened with this charter bus, and I guess 2 people actually are dead now, or passed away. Unfortunately, I never seen anything like it. There were 4 helicopters. Those emergency helicopters came in, and they were waiting and picking people up. And I guess there was 10 kids that were injured and some adults. There were 5 adults and 10 kids, the last reporting. And they said, wow, there was the most EMT that I've ever seen in one spot. The EMTs were coming from 2 or 3 cities. I saw emergency vehicles, not ambulance and fire trucks and sheriff department and some stuff I never even heard of, advanced response teams were showing up. It was one of the craziest scenes I've ever seen. And we were passing by it because the whole highway was shut down, I-25. And we were way south of where we live. So yeah, that's out there. If you want to see it, the raw uncut version, I have the video right here. It's on our page. It basically shows, I put a little article there so you can kind of see the context of it. And then if you want to, in the description below this article that we released, it has more information to give it context. But here it is right here. There's the helicopters. You can kind of see them if you look on the picture over there. On that side over there, those yellow, orange, and red helicopters. There was 4 of them in and out. that were flying in and out rescuing people, and then the bus, you could see the bus kind of in the middle, well, towards the right of the picture, you could see it on the side of the road, and you can see the emergency vehicles. It was crazy. It was insane. It was, I was a cop for 5 years, and I've never seen anything like that. And I didn't see any people hurt or anything like that. That's not what I was filming. I would not show that anyway. But it was just emergency vehicles passing us. They were going around. For some reason, they were going on our side of the road, even though they were on the other side. I think maybe there was nowhere to park or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, man, I just hope everybody, I hope that the people, that nobody else passes away, because whatever happened, it was serious. I guess the charter bus, they're saying it hit a bridge or something, which I didn't see a bridge, so I don't know how it could have. Maybe it came off the freeway and hit a bridge. I'm not sure. It's just really, really strange what happened. But yeah, here's like a closer shot right here. And it's just now hitting the news. I don't know if it'll make national news, but it was pretty serious. Yeah, the whole freeway was blocked off. Like, it's probably still, well, I'm sure it's free now, but they're supposed to make like an announcement and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of talk about it because it literally happened like 4 hours ago. We just passed it, and man, it's definitely gonna make state news, because look at this. How many emergency vehicles here? Ambulance. 1, 2, 3. I've seen about 7 or 8 ambulance. I've seen about 3 or 4 fire trucks. I've seen 4 helicopters in and out. I saw all kinds of police. I mean, I've never seen nothing like that. So that happened. And also I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about another case that's going on here. Like I said, this is going to get dark. But I just feel like it needs to be talked about. There's a missing person. And let me see if I can show you that. We featured it on our video before, but I want to talk about it a little bit more. There's a Filipina who came to the U.S. a few years ago, and her name is Jespsy Amaga. You may have heard about this. She's still missing. She went missing in March, April, May. I want to say March or April. Let me see. She's been missing for a while, and I mean missing, guys. I mean, like, it's not looking good. It's a real sad situation. Her mom is looking for her. And this happened right here in Colorado Springs. Like, right in Colorado Springs, this lady went missing. And yeah, it's just sad. And there's no word, as far as I've seen. The local investigators have not announced any, have not gave us any more information about what's going on with her. And it's really sad for her family, for her mom, who I think her mom's an overseas Filipino worker. And here she is right here. Really sad situation. This is our YouTube channel right here. But yeah, she's been missing since March the 21st, 2019. Nobody's heard from her. No talking to her mom. No, it's really sad. It's really sad because the last, I really don't like talking about this because, I don't know what happened to her, and I don't want to disrespect her, any part of the situation. If the worst case scenario is what's happened, I don't want to be one of those clowns that's on there, disrespecting somebody's life, because this is very serious. This is a person's life we're talking about, and I really don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I wish that I hope, I'm sure that the local investigators are doing their job, and they're investigating the primary suspects, and getting information. I'm sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. I want to just put it out there and say, she still hasn't been found. And I just want, we can't stop talking about it because, we don't want this case to go cold or something. So yeah, um, really sad. Yeah, yeah, Corey, really sad, man. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I've been looking like every other day. I'll look and see if there's new information on what's happened, and to see if there's any more information, or if the Colorado Springs detectives have found anything or released any more information. I really wish they really should release more information about this, but sometimes they don't release more information because it could harm the ongoing investigation. I hope that's the case. I hope that's why they're not putting out information faster. Um, it's really sad what's happened to her. It's and it just, from all the folks we talked to, uh, I could see something like this happening, and I'm not trying to scare Filipinas, or if you happen to be from another country and you're trying to come here, on a visa or whatever, you really have to be careful with who you contact, with who you, and I tell people this. We talk to Filipinas and people from all over the world who are in bad situations. They're with a spouse who's abusive. They're with a person who doesn't treat them right. And I'm not suggesting this dude did anything. It's very fishy. You know what I mean? It's very fishy, like the way it all happened. Because I know I could tell you, like, if my wife just disappeared, I'd be the person who's reporting it to the police. I'd be the one saying, hey, I haven't found her. She hasn't come home. I'm just worried about her. I want to know what's going on with my wife. Like, please help me find her. I would be the one, but this guy wasn't the one. What's really weird to me is he wasn't the one to report it, the missing person. You know what I mean? It was a friend from another state that reported it, and then the mom, who couldn't contact her daughter anymore, couldn't contact her anymore. Are you guys hearing me? Is my volume? From my end, my volume looks really good. It looks like it's very loud. Could you tell me if my volume is low? Let me know. Because my volume looks like it's spiking. Like, it looks like it's all the way up. Let me see if I can find a headphones. Nope, no headphones. But yeah, I mean, if this happened to me, my wife went missing, I would be the first one calling the cops. I'd be the first one saying, hey, what's going on with Colorado PD? Like, my wife has been gone for 24 hours. I have not been able to contact her. I need help finding her, right? But this guy, thanks guys, this guy, it's just very fishy. You know what I mean? It's just very fishy. It's really weird, and it's just, where is Jespsy? Where is she? Where is she? Somebody knows. Somebody out there knows. So yeah, Colorado Springs PD is on the case, and hopefully they'll release some information soon about it. Like I said, I'm sure any guys who are watching this right now, you'd say the same thing. Your wife goes missing. She is from another country, right? Yeah, okay, she's been here 2-3 years or whatever, but you know what goes on here. How you go to the wrong place, man. So I would be worried. I'd be worried. I've heard about people getting hurt. I've known people get hurt or whatever. So I would call the cops. I'd been the one that called the cops. It's just very strange that he wasn't the one that called the cops. It's very weird. And it just worries me. It worries me about this case because there's no information. There's no information at all about it, and it's like, it's just sad. I'm not gonna let it go. I'm gonna keep releasing videos about it. I'm gonna keep talking about it, and we should all keep talking. If you have a YouTube channel, you should post it. You don't have to make it political. You don't have to blame people. You could just put her name on there. Just repost somebody else's stuff. repost somebody else's video of. You can repost my. Feel free to repost mine. This video that you're watching, that video there that I'm playing right now. This is a video, by the way. That has no ads on it. You can just go ahead and repost it, and our name is not on it. You know, it's just you put it out there, and all it does is tell people, here's how you contact them. Here's what's going on. Jespsy's been missing since the March 21st. You know, get the word out there. Let's keep it. We got to keep her name out there. You know what I mean? So people they know that, hey, we're watching. So Colorado PD keeps looking. You know, and maybe releases a statement about it if it doesn't harm the ongoing investigation, and maybe even forces somebody to come forward and say, you know what, I know I have information. So that's it. I don't want to talk about it too much. I'm gonna release more videos about this. I think I'll do another video like this where I just release, because we need to keep her name out there. You know, that's the name of the game. So that there's pressure to keep this investigation going for Jespsy. You know, nobody deserves this. Nobody deserves what happened to her. And so she, you know, we have to keep putting her name out there so we find out what happened to her. Like I said, Yuri and I have talked to so many Filipinas in different situations, and it's kind of weird. Like, a lot of people assume that it's, you know, there's a stigma about, oh, Filipina, oh man, she's here for a green card, or she wants to get her citizenship, or whatever. But you know what doesn't get talked about is the abuse that happens with some Filipinas who come to the U.S. That people don't talk about that, and it doesn't get the same traction or the same kind of stigma, you know, when they come to America and they get abused. Because a lot of times, unfortunately, the women keep their mouth shut and don't say anything. But they have talked to us. Some of them have talked to us, and we tell them, leave that guy before it gets worse. You know, if there's abuse, you gotta go. You gotta leave. And this is the reason why crap like this happens. And you know, you think this is the first time this has happened? You think it's the first time somebody just disappeared? It's not. They always find the person, by the way. Always. It just takes time. It's just a matter of time. One way or another, they're gonna find out who did it. It's just a matter of time. So we just have to keep talking about Jespsy. We can't let this go. You know, we can't talk about it only when it's hot. We gotta keep talking about it. So I'm gonna release another video. I don't know if it'll be this week or next week, but I'm gonna keep releasing it because we have to keep her name out there. That being said, let's open up the topics. I see some people talking to me, and I'm gonna talk back. Just give me a second. I gotta see what you guys are talking about over here. I gotta open up the chat box. Give me a second. Bear with me. I know you guys some people are talking to me, but I gotta open up my live. Oh man, look at that. It still says Father's Day on it. I gotta change that. Hold up. Let me change this. I'm gonna change the name of this to, okay, I see you guys. I see you. Just give me a second. I want to change the name of this from Father's Day to, I'm gonna call this Jespsy Amaga, and I'm gonna call it Crash on I-25 Charter Bus Pueblo. That's what we'll call it right there. Boom. Okay. For some reason, it doesn't change the name of the lives that I do, so I just had to change it real quick so people know what's up. Meantime, I need to get the chat going. Let's get the chat going real quick, right fast. Just need to grab the chat so I can scroll through. Pop out the chat, and there we go. All right. I'm seeing KP55. How you doing, man? Thank you for your support, by the way. Really appreciate you. I know who you are. KP55, you guys didn't know, has been a long time supporter, huge supporter of us on this channel, on Patreon. Man, I really appreciate you. You're the reason why we continue to do this like we do. Yuri is at work, if you guys were wondering. Corey Walker says, hello, Bruce. How you doing? Masada says, hi. DJ Knight says, yes. What's up, Bruce? Hey, Percy Ramsey. How you doing? Long-time follower right there. Instigator, I'm opening up, guys. It's anything you guys want to talk about. It's free game. It's open season. Corey Walker said, what's the cost of living in Colorado? The prices have really gone up. Like, it depends on what cities you go to, as far as, like, you know, the long pole in the tent is going to be rent, right? So the rent here, I could tell you, in Colorado Springs, the rent is off it's off to the races. It hasn't stopped going up. It's just the rent is higher than the mortgage. Like, if you were to buy a house and you're paying a mortgage, the rent's gonna be way higher than that in most cases for the amount of square footage that you get and are gonna live in. It's going up. Like I said before, it's not like California or San Diego or something, but it's not like Arkansas or Texas. it's going up fast because a lot of people are wanting to live here. Instigator says, hi. Hey, Instigator, another longtime supporter. Man, congrats on all your success. He got his wife here and everything. So, man, congrats to you. He says, hi, guys. Hope all is well. That was a really bad wreck. It looks like it was. A lot of people got hurt. And what happened, Instigator, if you guys are late in the very beginning of this video, I talked about a crash that happened on I-25, which is our main freeway here in Colorado. And 2 people are dead, unfortunately. There's 5 kids. It was 10 kids on the bus and 5 adults. And yeah, my heart goes out to them, and I hope nobody else passes away. I hope they survive the severe injuries from the car crash that says it went off I-25 and hit a bridge embankment. That's what happened. Yuri and I were actually passing it. We were driving by and saw the accident. We didn't see any people or corpses or people injured or anything like that. We just saw tons of emergency response vehicles. Corey says Masada. Let me make sure there's no. Sometimes we'll start playing stuff here. Let me just get out of here so it doesn't play some. Corey Walker says, Masada, you have to be patient, give it time, but you will not know till y'all meet, because then you get to see how she will respond to adversity. What was his question? What was Masada saying? I must have missed that one. I'm not seeing it here. Corey says, Corey, I met a few and they were all bad, very bad. It's I have to say, Masada, I met some bad ones too, like in person, you know. So you gotta be careful you gotta take your time, man. It took me a long time to find Yuri. Like it didn't happen overnight. And then us having to get to know each other even after that took a while. It just takes time. It took effort for both of us. You got to find somebody who's on your team. You know, that's how I see it anyway. Masada says, I've been to the Philippines 6 times so far and I don't have any luck. Corey Walker says, Masada, are you a good guy? Yes, a very good guy. Never cheat, don't do drugs, don't drink, own money, a home. I'm a good catch. Well, you just have to. You have not been lucky then. You're right, Corey. Yeah, Masada, I mean, I would say don't give up hope, man. That's what my advice would be, is don't give up hope. Keep looking. Because somebody out there's here's what happened to me. Like, I was coming out of a super duper horrible relationship, you know, where I had 2 kids and I was basically a single dad. We'd been, it's one of those situations where, and it's hard to understand if you haven't been married, but sometimes it comes to a point where you are roommates. You're like in that same home as the enemy. That's the situation I was in, where we weren't partners no more for a long time, for like years. And so I was coming out of that relationship that was bad, where my ex was doing stuff, you know, and then I was doing my thing, she was doing her thing, or whatever. And there was no trust. There was no. It was really bad, you know, just a a leech. Is who I was married to. And so I moved on. She moved on with her life. I moved on. And then it was hard for me to trust again. And I started losing hope. Like maybe there's, because I would find somebody online and then they would be kind of crazy, or they would be not a match, or it'd be some kind of baggage that I couldn't, or she saw me have, I had baggage, so she didn't want to have nothing to do with. So there's like a lot of false starts, and I started losing hope. And what I'm trying to tell you, Masada, is don't lose hope. There's somebody out there for you. There's several someone's out there for you, to be honest with you. Think of it like this. It's like a numbers game, right? There's 7 billion people on planet Earth, and 50% of them are women, right? So you got to think of it like this. Like, there's somebody out there, several, probably like a million out there who are a perfect match for you, and all you're doing is trying to whittle it down to that one, or that one few dozen or so that's going to be a better match for you. That takes time. That takes time talking to them. You don't just meet them all of a sudden. You got to figure out where you want to meet them. The likelihood of you meeting a good one who's going to want something more serious, who's going to be trustworthy of men, is unlikely in a bar. So if you're trying to find a girl who's working in a bar, I'm not saying it's impossible, because I know some awesome bar girls. I know some women who were bar girls, but they weren't like prostitutes or anything, but they were, or in some cases, yeah, they were, but they turned out to be great wives. I'm not saying it's not possible for you to find a bar girl, okay? I'm not saying that some of them are good, some of them are good, okay? I'm just saying it's highly improbable that they're gonna be trusting of men. It's highly improbable that they're not gonna have had some really bad situations happen to them, and it made them jaded towards all men in all relationships. That's what happens. I'm merely suggesting that it's probably better if you find someone with a job already. Like, she's already doing her thing. She's already going through her life. She's already doing the best she can. You know what I'm saying, Masada? I hope you hear me. It's highly improbable that you're gonna find a good girl in a bad place. Like, what I'm saying is a bar, or a girl who likes to club all the time, or you need to find somebody who's on your level. That's what Yuri and I have been talking about. You got to find somebody who's mentally and maturity wise, spiritually wise, on your same wavelength, and that takes a while to discover that person. That person exists for you, though. That's the good news is that person exists for you, but she's it's going to take time to figure out, to find her, you know what I mean? And then you might even be talking to that girl right now. It takes time. Sometimes you develop into that person, her dream person, and she develops into your dream person. Sometimes, and that's the thing about long-term relationships, is you're gonna grow together, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, that's just how I see it. What do you guys think about that? The math is there. There's 7 billion people on the planet Earth. 50% are women, right? Even if there's a fraction of that 3.5 billion people on Earth who are, even a fraction of those people who are your match, it might not be in the Philippines. It could be in Thailand. It could be in America. It could be around the corner from your house. It could be, so that was my approach to the whole dating scene. My approach was, it's math. I was feeling so down. I was like, man, Bruce, like, what have you done, man? Like, you cannot find a good, what's wrong with you? Why can't you find a good person? Why can't you find someone who's willing to work for the relationship as hard as you? Why can't you find, why? Is it not possible? Maybe I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. And then I started thinking about the math. There's 3.5 billion women on planet Earth. And then a small fraction, a tiny sliver of the amount of people, they're going to be compatible with me, right? Who I can communicate with, who are going to be on the same wavelength. Even if it's a small sliver of a fraction of people out there who are compatible with you, it exists. And so once that was in my head, I'm like, how do I find this person? Well, and I start thinking about numbers. There's databases of women who are looking for guys. It's called dating sites. So what I did was I made a profile on like 4 or 5 different dating sites, right? That gives you access to something like 40 or 50,000 women, who are eligible, who are single, who are looking for somebody. In some cases, they're on a divorce and their relationship is done. There's all kinds of situations. Some of them have kids, some of them don't have kids. Thousands. All you got to do, I'm set 50,000. It's probably more like 300,000. Once you get this dating, if you get 3 or 4 dating sites, you put a profile on each one. And sometimes you got to spend money, like if it's like a membership, like some of them are free or whatever, and you put it out there, you start talking to people. And then when it clicks, you take the conversation offline. You delete all of those, you suspend all of those dating site profiles, and you focus on this one person. But yeah, that's what I did. It was a numbers game. I said, okay, I'm gonna put my profile on 4 or 5 different sites, right? And I'm just gonna tell them exactly what's happening. I'm gonna tell them I'm a divorcee. I've got 2 kids. This is my situation, and that's what I did. I was very truthful because I was trying to find somebody who is serious, who's willing to be a soldier with me and get through this, And then for that person, I'd be willing to do anything for that person, provided that they're on my wavelength. And it was a very serious, that weeded out, my profiles weeded out most women because they're looking at me like, no, bald, no, or 2 kids, no, divorced. Oh, no, I don't think so. That weeded out all of those fakers, you know what I mean? And then some scammers try to come, and what I learned is like, if they're not willing to, if they're asking you for something within, a few days or a few weeks or months of you just meeting them, what kind of person is this? Who does that, right? You just met someone at your job, your coworker, and then suddenly they're asking you for money. I mean, come on, you know what I mean? And then they're like, oh, I've got no money. And I'm like, don't you have the internet? Didn't you have to pay for the internet? Didn't you have to go to that cafe? Where'd you get the money for that? How about electricity? If you have a computer in your house, didn't you have to pay for the electricity? Like something's going on, something fishy, you know what I mean? So that's how we did out the scammers. Anyway, let's keep reading here. Let me see what else is people are talking about here. Corey Walker says, Masada, you should learn. You learning the language. No, that's where I went wrong. I need to. Some people are talking about the Jespsy situation. Corey says, that's sad about Jespsy. It really is, man. It really is. Instigator says, I think the husband is guilty and you may not want to say it, but I will. Yeah. That's usually the first suspect. Even more reason why you as the husband, if your wife is missing, you should be like calling the cops immediately, right? Willie says, brother, you guys always clicked with me. Keep positive, keep pushing the vets. Everything is a season, and yeah, I agree with that. Thanks, man. Thanks for the words of wisdom. I appreciate you, Willie Galman. Masada says, Bruce, can you turn up the volume? I think it's up pretty good. I mean, other people are saying it's good. I think maybe Masada, you have to turn your volume up because my thing is blasting over here. Let me see, what else do we have here? Everybody's saying the sound is good. Sounds good on my end. Okay, sounds volume is good. Loud and clear. Mickey, hey Mickey, how you doing, man? Mickey 1863 says, I hear you loud and clear. M. Matthias J. Osborne says, I have a bad feeling she might be a victim of human trafficking or organ harvesting. I don't think so. If you read more of the story, I don't think that's the case. She was with her husband so she came here on either K-1 or spousal visa, right? And this was years ago. They lived together for a while. The dude has a kid. I'm just telling you from memory, so if I get some things wrong, forgive me. So their relationship, after about a year or two, their relationship didn't work out. So Jespsy goes to live with her friend in like another state, like Chicago or something. She's living with her friend, so she's kind of in and out of Colorado, trying to work things out with her husband. And that's why I don't think it's necessarily human trafficking, because she came here on a legit visa. And organ harvesting, I I don't know nothing about that, so I don't think it's that. Um, I it just seems more likely, especially given the cases that have happened here in Colorado. And I really don't want to talk about it. It's so dark. And I think Jepsy's mom might watch this. I don't want her to see this and get more worried than she already is. You know what I mean? So I really don't want to take it to that place. But if you just Google domestic violence cases in Colorado, if you just Google that, there's some really horrible things that have happened here in Colorado Springs, man. I don't know why, what's the hell is going on here, but man, it's really sad, man. Yeah, it's really sad. There was a nationwide case that happened here. It's very similar. Sounds very similar to what's going on with Jepsy. Like that's how the story started, right? The neighbor calls the cops, or the someone who can't reach her calls it. The husband didn't call the cops. Like that's fishy. And then they're talking to the husband, and they sound really fishy. Like it doesn't sound like, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? But then I don't know. Maybe if they released a little bit more information, then there would be a little bit more solidarity. It would be a little bit more. Immediately you want to blame the husband because that's the person with the closest proximity, the person who knows. It should have been the person that called the cops, and it wasn't. So yeah, of course, that's very fishy. Anyway, Corey says seven more minutes. Okay, here we go. Derek F, how you doing, man? Thank you for all your support, Derek. Really appreciate you as one of our Patreons. And he also has a YouTube channel, so please check him out. Derek F. We featured him here on one of our. We did a 360. We posted one of his 360 videos, so go ahead and check that one out. But Derek is a YouTuber, so please subscribe to him if you like us, our content. You'll definitely like him. And congratulations, Derek F, on your new baby, your little Blasian baby. He says asking for security tapes. Maybe track where she went. I'm sure the cops have something, and usually they're tight-lipped for a reason. Usually they don't say anything. That usually means they have something, and they have to. They're kind of following a breadcrumb trail that's hot. You know what I mean? They're following a lead, and they don't want to mess with that lead. So maybe that's why they're not saying anything. So hey, Big Rob, how you doing? Instigator says it's not fishy if the husband does not report her missing. A friend goes out of state. It's a closed case, especially since they were not getting along. It's not fishy that the husband does not. No, to me, Instigator, I disagree. It's very fishy, man. It's very fishy. I tell you what. So the thing is, like, you got to read the story. Like, she was there. The last place she was reported to have been, the last person she was reported to have been was her ex-husband's house. Was her husband's house. So it's just weird, man. It's not like she left her friend's house who's in another state. She was at her home in Colorado Springs, and that's the last place she was seen. And it's just fishy, man. Like, if that happened to me, my wife leaves and I'm like, can't get a hold of her. Her mom is calling me, Purple Shadow's calling me saying, oh man, where's Yuri? I can't get a hold of him. I'd be like, oh shit, she's told me she was going to visit her friend in Texas. Okay, let's call her, Oh, I can't get a hold of her. Like, where could she be? I check online, I check here, I check there, I call her local friends here, say, hey, have you heard from her? No, I haven't heard from her. Next thing is the cops. It just goes from A, B, C, like somebody contacted me, they can't get a hold of her, right? She hasn't talked to them in 12 hours, 24 hours. Now I'm worried. Okay, she's not answering the phone. Or even weirder, Instigator, is she left her phone and ID at the house. I mean, just read the story. Like, read the details of the story. It's very fishy. Does not make any sense. Mickey says a lot of guys who can't get a woman run overseas take advantage of women, hoping the guy they chose is legit. Many times these guys are dangerous. And it's rare. It's actually rare, but it does happen. It's it's not like every other person we talk to has an abusive relationship. That's not what I'm suggesting. What I mean, I'm not saying that you are suggesting that, Mickey, but what I'm saying is like it happens more often than I thought. You know what I mean? Like I just didn't. You would think that a dude who goes through all the trouble of doing all that documentation, going to another federal agency, and it's a pain in the butt to deal with these departments. It's a pain. It's just so much bureaucracy and so much time and money and energy. You're gonna go through that entire process, and then your girl's gonna come here and you're gonna abuse her emotionally. You're gonna abuse her physically. You're gonna abuse her in all these different ways. It just doesn't make any sense. That just doesn't, like there's something wrong there. You know what I mean? There's just something not right with somebody who could do something like that. Went through this whole process, and then they bring them here, and then they're going to be abusive. It's very strange. So even though it doesn't happen that often, like we've maybe 1 in 100 people have told us, and I'm being completely serious. And that's not to say that it's not more than that. I'm sure it's more than that. What I'm saying, out of 100 people, like every 100 people we talk to, we get the story of an abusive spouse or abusive fiance or abusive or whatever it is. And they're not. I'm not saying like, oh, he said something bad to me. I'm saying it's like some real stuff, man. I'm saying like the real threats, real violence. Cops are called. You name it. Like it's bad. 1 in 100. But I'm saying it shouldn't be 1 in 100. You went through all that process. In some cases, you got kids and stuff, and you shouldn't. It should never go to that level. It shouldn't come to that. It just shouldn't. So, Corey says, screenshotted it. I think are you talking about the Jespsy thing? Like you can go to our site and download it if you want. You could download it. You could reshare it. Please share it as many times as you want. Like this is not, I've disabled comments on it. It's just straight information. That's it. Because I don't want anybody putting, citizen detective stuff in there that's like misleading or attacking the husband. The husband's gonna get his. If he did anything, he's gonna get his. What I mean by that is they're gonna find out. If he did do it, they will find out. But people, I just don't want it to become like a Facebook thing where Facebook is super toxic on this whole subject. It's just very toxic. Very bad place to be for this. I hope people will continue to share it. This stuff, the information, just get more people to, just in case you happen to see her and she's in another state, or you saw something happen to her, or you seen the last person she was with, or you saw anything at all, you'll report it to the local Colorado Springs police department. Corey Walker says, okay, I already read that. Art, how you doing, Art? Thanks for all your support, man, over the years. If you guys didn't know, Art's Place, Art Carlson has a few channels, actually. He's got a fishing channel, he's got a drone channel, and he's got Art's Place where he talks about conservative matters. If that is your thing, go check him out. Mickey says, okay, let me see. I'm trying to find my place here. Excuse me. I'm trying to find my place, see where I left off. Mickey 1863 says some guys think Filipinos are pretty slaves. Yeah, and that's the thing, Mickey. Like I run into guys with that attitude, which is really weird to me. You know what I mean? It's really freaking weird. It's really weird to me in 2019 that there's some people who think that way. Who will treat another human being like that. This is America. This is not, and I know I'm going to offend some people, but this is not the Middle East, man. You can't treat people like that. You can't, they're not third class citizens. It's not what we do here. I don't know how you were raised, but that's not how we treat human beings. So it's just really weird to me, really strange. Usually it's these older dudes that like have they're like not all there. You know what I mean? Corey Walker says, well, I go overseas because I like the Spanish and Asian mix that Filipinas have, and it's the fact that they have natural hair and not the women on the makeup transformation. Yeah, everybody has their own reasons, Corey. I mean, I'm not judging why people win. I mean, my reasons for going overseas is that I like the culture. You know, I'm kind of fed up personally with us Americans, like it's gotten very materialistic. And I'm not suggesting that Southeast Asia is not materialistic. I would say it's very, very materialistic. Some of the women there, but there's an underlying current of the culture. The culture lends itself to the women being a supporting part of the family, and I just think that's super important for the woman and the man to be a supporting part of building a team. And I just think we as Americans have gotten away from that somehow. Like somehow it just seems like our culture has gotten away from that, you know. And I'm not a religious person. Don't support, you know, that's not me. But I do believe in the values. Some of the values are dead. They're right. They're correct. Like building a family together, you know, like being the woman supporting the family. In my mind, like I was raised by my mom, like the mother is the most important part of the family. You know, the woman is the cornerstone. You need two cornerstones. You know, you need the father and the mother, and both of you have to put in. And it seems like us as a culture is going. You know, you may disagree with me. It's just my personal opinion. That's why I decided to go overseas. I want to find something different. You know, if it wasn't Southeast Asia, it probably would have been Colombia, or because they have the same kind of undercurrent of like a strong value system as far as the family. And I just think there's the way that I think about having come from a really toxic relationship where one person is like a leech and sucking everything out of the relationship. I can see why she got that like that, because there's this mentality that you give me everything. You work, you bring all the money, you're doing everything, and I'm gonna sit back and do nothing. You're not working hard enough. I need more. You know, and I just don't want to have that in my life. I'd rather just be alone. Now, I'm not suggesting that all American women are like that. I'm not suggesting that at all. I think American women are the best. You know, American women are Filipino, they're Asian, they're black, they're white, they're Japanese, they're German. We're a mixture of everything. So we're, you know, I just think that the culture, it's just like there's something missing there. You know, there's a shift happening right now. There's a huge shift. And eventually it's going to settle and find itself. But right now, it's just all over the place. And it's not for me. You know, I mean, it's not that part of it, that relationship. And I think that's why a lot of relationships are breaking down so easily, because this shift is happening. And I don't know where it's going to end. Corey says, my Filipina is teaching me Tagalog and Waray. That's awesome. KPP says, I'm headed to the Philippines on Tuesday, then headed to Balinao. Balinao? I'm not sure where that is. Bali? Are you talking Bali? You said Balinao. Where is that? KP55. Mickey says, oh, he's talking Masada. I'll leave that one alone. I'm going to learn it also. Instigator, congrats. Tess, how you doing? Says, hello, Bruce. How you doing, Tess? Masada. And I'm trying to catch up, guys. I'm seeing a lot. I've been talking a lot, so bear with me here while I scroll through. Mickey says you have to chill with real people. They will show you the way. Okay, let me kind of. My problem is all I've been messing with is bar girls, I guess. Oh no. Yeah, man. So the problem with bar girls. And like I said, I know that I know bar girls. Like I know women who used to be bar girls and they're made good wives. So I'm not saying all bar girls, okay? So don't be offended. But your chances, I mean, if you're a bar girl, if you worked in a bar, then you know this more than anyone. How many women in that bar have been jaded by men who hate men, who see men as a blank check? That's it, their client. How many of those women that you met in that bar can make that shift from being a predator in a club of customers to now I'm serving my family? How many can make that shift after being jaded, and it's not even her fault. Like, she worked in this environment where men are using her, and she's got these horrible relationships, and some of which she really loved the guy, and the guy just takes a crap all over her multiple times. And after a while, she's just not gonna trust guys no more. You know what I mean? I don't blame the women in bar. I don't blame bar girls. Like, they are trying to, 9 times out of 10, they're just trying to make a living. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not one of these people who judges even sex workers. You know what I mean? I personally don't blame them. They are trying to make a living, and I know how people feel about that, especially in the Philippines. They're very divisive about that. They don't even, you can't even talk about it. It's worse than talking about race, God, religion, or politics. You cannot talk about prostitution. But me personally, I don't have no problem with sex workers. They're trying to make a living. It's legit. If you religiously don't agree with it because of the work, that's your opinion. You know, that's your opinion. And the thing is, Jesus was willing to accept them because he wants to accept them back in the fold. So at the very least, as a Christian person, you should be like, you should love them so that they can come back. You know, you shouldn't hate on them because they are making poor decisions in your opinion. Anyway, I don't have no problem with bar girls, sex workers, strippers, any of that stuff, right? I'd say more power to them. They're trying to make a living. But the thing is, in that industry, especially the bar girls, like, you're targeting dudes for money, and then, or unless you're a waitress, I'm not talking about waitresses, you know what I'm saying? But if you're targeting dudes to get money out of that guy, more than likely those guys are targeting you too. It's like a treacherous relationship. It's like a predator and relationship. You know what I mean? One's the prey and one's the predator, and you guys are trying to play chess on each other all the time. So how many of those women have been jaded by dudes? And a lot of times they're just hateful of guys. They hate dudes. Not all, but many hate dudes. And they're just gonna use a dude like an ATM. They're gonna use them up, and when that's done, they already have a backup dude. They always have a backup dude, you know. And again, like, I have to keep reiterating, because I know there's women who used to be bar girls and in Japan or in other countries, you know, in UAE or Oman or whatever. And I'm not, you know, I'm sure there's great women. Not only are they beautiful inside, but they're beautiful outside, you know, and they just have to do that profession, and they never got jaded, of course. But I bet you, like, if you're a bar girl, if you worked in a bar in another country, I'm sure there's some watching this, or in the future maybe you'll watch it. How many girls that you met in that situation are jaded, and you see them with a guy, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe he don't know what's about to happen to him. She's about to go through them pockets, because you already know she's got like 2 or 3 other guys. You already know she's got 2 or 3 other guys taking money. So that's all I'm saying. You know, we're just talking real here. I'm just talking real to dudes who, because it's for dudes. I know, like, women, like, you guys are smarter than us. When we see a woman, like a beautiful woman, dancing around, like, our brains kind of turn off. You know, our brain just turns off, and we start thinking of all of these visions of what we're gonna live with this girl, and she's gonna give us kids, and she's gonna be a great mom or whatever. Our brain turns off. You know, we're not thinking with our brain. We're thinking with something else. And women just, are way smarter about it than us when it comes to that aspect, especially. I mean, I don't know. Like, we have to inform guys. Like, it's a very low probability you're gonna find a good girl in a bar. That's just how it is. They do exist, but it's rare, man. And then the good ones are already taken, to be honest with you. A dude already scooped them up. and he's trying to get her out of that situation. So just keep that in mind. It's a roll of the dice. You want to roll the dice and be with a bar girl, and that's on. Good luck. You can find one, but it's harder. It's going to be harder for you. Not the right environment to get a serious relationship. Have fun, yes. A serious relationship, no. I'm just telling you the truth. Let me see. Mickey is spitting some knowledge at Masada here. Matthias says, where did you meet Yuri, and is she from the provincial or the city? I met Yuri online. We met on a site called Filipino Cupid, and I'd been on there for like a year. I've been on there for like a year and a half, and before that I'd been on other sites, overseas, locally. I was just on all, like I said, I made like 5 different serious profiles, and I was constantly looking. And then I'd start having this like Rolodex of people I was talking to, and it wasn't serious at that time. We were just like, hey, how's it going? Like, what's your life like? What are you doing? How many kids you have? Like, what was your past? Like, what, you just got to start to get to know each other. And some people would click, and I just whittled it down to like just a few people who I really clicked with. By the time I was willing to make a decision, there was maybe 3 people out of 100. Whittled it down. And the thing about Filipino Cupid is that there's a lot of scammers there. So if they're asking for money, if they're telling you all these crazy stories of woe and despair and stuff, this is not the place. Filipino Cupid is not, a dating site is not the place to try to get charity. You know what I mean? That's not the place. Go to the Red Cross, go to church, go somewhere else. It's not for that. So you just gotta focus like a laser, And the thing is, a lot of guys here have a great heart. They want to give. They don't mind giving $30. They don't mind. You're not on the dating site to help people. I know that sounds messed up, but you're not on the dating site to hand out money. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. That's not why you're there. You're there to find a partner. And with that partner, you could build something to where you can give out money to charity or whatever. And if you really feel bad, there's children's funds. There's the St. Jude Children's Fund, cancer kids that you can give money to. There's organizations in the Philippines where you can help little kids. There's other things you can do if you want to send your. But don't give out charity on the dating site. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. I did it. It's the wrong thing to do. Don't do it. Don't. As soon as they start asking for money or start telling you their grandma's in a hospital or something after you just met them, man, leave. Don't talk to them. As soon as they say, "Oh yeah, my video's broke. I can't do video," leave. Just go talk to someone else. Just don't spend any time with the scammers or the users. Just focus on the people who are real. The people who are real, who are really on there to find a foreign husband, they deserve your time. And then later on, when you guys have an established relationship, they deserve your support. But that's only hopefully after you've met them in person. The good ones, the ones who they're trying to find a real relationship, and they'll stand out because they're not gonna make all these crazy promises. They're not gonna inflate your ego. Crazy, some good women will also inflate your ego because they know how to, they know what men like, but there's just signs that you want to avoid with scammers. So just letting you know from somebody who's been scammed multiple times. Mickey says you can find a good woman in the bar, but it's hard. Yes, I agree with that, Mickey. I definitely agree with that. I've definitely met women who used to be bar girls who are great wives to their husbands. They have kids. They, as far as we know, never messed around. They just seem like good women, and they were just looking for something right. Corey Walker says, Bruce, that is how I felt, but I saw your video, so I kept searching, and is content with my is in content. Oh, I'm content with my Filipino right now. That's good, man. That's good. Yeah. Like I said, man, I felt really down. I felt like, man, but the numbers are in your favor, Masada. The numbers are in your favor, so just don't give up, man. Keep looking. Masada says, Bruce, I use the math probability all the time. Yeah, man. Yeah. The probability is in our favor. So you can't find her. It just hurts your heart, when you have to keep looking. And I know that feeling of loneliness make you do stupid things, like talk to a woman who you know is not good, and stay with a woman who you know is not good because you're lonely. I know that feeling. It's horrible. And I'm an introvert, man. I don't have to be around a lot of people, but it's just human nature for us to want a companion, a partner. We see our buddy and our buddies all happy with their wife or their fiance or whatever, or their girlfriend, and you're like, damn, I'm here. I am watching Netflix at 2 a.m. and my buddy's with his wife and kid. You know what I'm saying? Like it just, I understand. Or if you, even if you're a single dad, like you're a single father, and you're like, man, I wish I could have like a partner to help me with this and stuff. Man, I know how you feel, man. It just gets so lonely and makes you do stupid things, like stay with a woman who's not good. But what I'm trying to tell you, and anybody out there, any men out there who's watching this, you can find a good woman. You just have to keep looking. Don't stop looking. Don't give up. Don't give up hope, because the probability is in your favor. Masada said, I agree, no bar girls. They are very untrustworthy. I understand, Bruce. I like Filipinas, though, Bruce. Man, I love Filipinas. Filipinas are awesome. I love Filipinas. Like here's the thing. Here's why I love them. Because, I didn't come into this whole, I wasn't looking for Filipinas. I didn't, like a lot of my military buddies, like had this jaded opinion about Filipinas, but I didn't. And the reason why is because I remember when I was a little kid, I was like 8 or 7 or something, I met a Filipina. Because here in California, Filipinos are so cool that you wouldn't even know. They're so cool and so adaptable and so into the culture. Like they're so smooth. You don't even know that they're from another country half the time. This doesn't even dawn on you. They might have an accent or whatever, but they're so cool. It's not like meeting a Vietnamese person, and I'm not saying anything bad about Vietnamese or about Chinese or Indians, but they're very embedded in their culture. In that they can't, it's almost like they can't make that shift until like 2 or 3 generations later. But Filipinos are so adaptable and so cool that the first one that I knew was Filipino is just because years later my uncle told me, yeah, my girlfriend was Filipino, and I remember her from when I was 8 or 7, and she was such an awesome, sweet lady. She was only like 4'11". I was almost her height at 7, But she was such a sweetheart, and that was the first Filipina I met, and I didn't even know she was Filipino until years later. And then I went to the military, and I had other friends who were Filipino, didn't even know, that they were Filipino. Like it wasn't like a thing, you know what I mean? They were just a cool ass dude. That's it. But then when I went to the military, my buddy, my boss, my mentor, had his wife was a queen, man. She was a queen. Like she was so smart, and she was his rock, like she made him a better person. And she was also Filipina, and I'm like, there's a pattern here, you know what I mean? And then there was other coworkers and peers that I had that had a Filipina wife, and it was different, man. It was a different feel. Like they were better because their wife, and I was like, I want that. I want a woman who makes me better, pushes me to be a better person. You know what I mean? And it's not even about them being Filipina. It's really about them being a dope ass partner, like an incredible partner. That's what it really is, because I want to push my partner to be better for herself, and I want her to push me to be better, and then together we make this team. That's what I had in my head, and I was just seeing my mentor had one, my uncle had one, my friends had one. I'm like, there's something to this. So I didn't go into the whole Filipina thing with a jaded. I had a positive opinion about Filipinas because I had seen how good it could be. And so when I was looking on Filipina Cupid, I was looking for that, and then lo and behold, I met a million freaking scammers. I didn't even know about that side of it, and then all these stereotypes about Filipinas just wanting a green card or whatever, and that's not true. Yes, there's some that are after that and users and stuff like that. I've met some, but there's some good ones, man. Really, really good ones. So Masada, I'm with you, man. I love Filipinos, man. And I could go. I there's so many good things. Like I have not met many who couldn't cook, right? And I can't cook, so that's a great strength. I can cook, but it's not going to taste good. You know, you saw me live like a week ago burn the hell out of some chicken, something the easiest thing possible that was already pre-prepared for me. I burnt the hell out of it. I want somebody who has that strength. I don't have it, so I've not met many Filipinos who couldn't cook. Well, by the way, I'm not talking about just cook. I'm talking about make you want to marry them after you take one bite. I've not met like when they're good and when they're like family, they're super family oriented, which is a good and bad. It's like a double-edged sword because on the one hand, if when they're that family oriented, they're gonna have a close bond with their family, right? Which a lot of Westerners like really have a problem with because they're sending money, they're supporting their family or whatever. But it's bad over there, man. It's impoverished. It's they're struggling. Of course, you're gonna send money back home to your mom or your father or your whoever, you know what I mean, to help them out. You're doing good. You're gonna send a little bit of something back. Of course, I mean, in my mind, it's just obvious. That's I would if I was in Germany and I was making $1 million, I'm not gonna send some money back to my mom who's struggling. Who I'm eating steak and my mom's eating some day old rice. No, you know what I'm saying? Like okay, I don't understand like why Westerners get so mad about that. But anyway, it's a double-edged sword about the whole family thing because on the one hand they're gonna continue to take care of their family, but on the other hand, think of it like this: when you're their family, you're going to get the same level of love and affection and care and dedication that you're pulled into the family, right? That is, we don't have that here. I mean, I'm sure some families have that here in the U.S., but it's not, it's rare, you know what I mean? So that I think is a cool thing. The cooking thing, the family thing, those are the two main things. There's other things that are great, but those are two of my favorite things. All right, let me see. Curry Walker says it ran into my first scammer. Can't wait to hear that story, Corey. Masada said that always a bad sign. Okay, I've got a lot of messages here, guys, so just bear with me. I'll get to yours in a second. Mickey says I ran into a lot of women who needed money. I didn't necessarily run into scammers. Well, call it what you will. They're on a dating site trying to get money. But yeah, I get what you're saying. There's a lot of people on there who are just beggars on there. They're not necessarily scammers. They're just flat out saying, hey, I need $30. Like a panhandler on a dating site. Don't give them money. Move on. Save that money for the one who's going to be for you. Like, save it for that good one who's going to be down for you. Masada said, good talk, though, Bruce. Thanks. I'll look into girls outside the bars. Yes, please do, man. Please do. Because it's just really rare to find a good one. And the thing is, if there's a bar girl, man, and she's good, she's already taken. Guaranteed. She's gone. Let it go. She has a guy. And that dude's taking care of her because he knows what he has. So he has something very rare. He has a diamond. He's plucked. He's reached his hand into the mud of the crazy lifestyle of the bar girl life, and he's pulled out a diamond. And he's gonna take care of that. He's gonna lock it in a safe, and that girl's gone. She's not for you. Somebody else got her. On You News says, I love Filipino women myself. I hope to be there in the Philippines September for 30 days. Well, good luck to you, sir. I hope that you make it there, Eye on You News. If you guys didn't know, Eye on You News is also a YouTuber. Check him out. He does these great meals, quick and easy, down and dirty, delicious meals. Check him out. Talks about very personal, deep stuff. Very heavy topics. Mickey says, what's up, Bruce? My girl will be here with her daughter in August. Man, congrats, Mickey. Congrats, man. We've been talking about this for a long time, and you finally did it, man. Huge milestone. Derek F says, My case is at the U.S. Embassy in the Philippines. Just have to pay the fees and medical exam interview and then CFO plus waiting for the baby's birth certificate. Congrats, Derek F. Man, looks like you're on the right track as well. Rob, Big Rob in the house. Like if you guys didn't know, Big Rob is a wrestler. Big dude, met him. Real cool guy. Met him in North Carolina when we went over there. I really wish I could have seen your match, man. But yeah, great guy. Also a published author. Very positive vibe. Go check him out. Go check out his book. Go check out his website. Good man. Mickey1863 says, "Congrats, Derek F." Okay, sorry, man. I got a lot of messages here. Holy crap. Okay, well, that's not too many. I can get through these. Big Rob says, "Hey, what's going on with Jespsy? Are there any updates?" So Big Rob, we were just talking about this. There's no updates with Jespsy, man. It's very sad. There's nothing coming out of Colorado PD. There's nothing coming from investigators. There's nothing. Nobody's said anything else new about it. It's just a really sad situation. It sucks. I don't know what to say, man. I'm speechless. Man. And I really feel for her mom. It's really hard to watch. I can't even imagine losing a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, my child goes to another country and then I can't get a hold of her. I can't even imagine how that must feel, you know. I don't know what to say about it. There's no information and that's not good. Mickey says she was going back to Chicago and the husband says, "No, you're not." Really? That's a new thing. I didn't know that. Mickey says some guys feel the money they're spending entitles them. I see what you're saying there. Yeah, it's a real strange mindset. But Mickey says it's not weird. It's an American mindset. You know that you know what I'm talking about. This is how Americans look at others. It's weird to me. It's weird to me, Mickey, because it's this very foreign way of thinking. You know what I mean? I'm from a different generation, man. I know what you mean. I know what you're talking about. The whole ownership thing, like that comes up, man. People throw that around. That whole you if you don't do this or that, I'm gonna take your green card. If you don't do this or that, I'm gonna take your visa away or something like that, man. I mean, if you're coming with that mentality, you really shouldn't be marrying any foreigner. Like you should stay in the U.S. You know, you should not, because that's the wrong mindset. You know, the visa process, the K1 visa, the CR1 visa, is so that you can bring your fiance, someone you love and who want to marry, to the U.S. It's the U.S. giving your loved one, a potential family member, a pass to come in the United States so that you can live your life together with them. It's not a receipt that allows you to own another human being. Like, how do you get from a visa that allows you to bring your loved one in the U.S. to, oh, I now own this person? Like, that's weird, man. Like, if that's your mindset, you really should not be marrying. And I'm talking about my whole audience, guys. I'm not trying to disrespect you or anything, but if that's how you think, man, don't be with a foreign spouse, man. The green card process, if you didn't know, is a way for a foreign person to have a permanent resident in the United States, with or without you, by the way. I mean, you got to get that through your head. Like, once that person starts going through the green card process, they can pretty much do the whole thing without you. They don't really need you. It's helpful that you're there for them. Don't get me wrong. But once the green card process starts, like, that's for them. That's for that person to be in the United States for a long period of time as a permanent resident. I mean, it's hard for me to understand why people feel obligated to, like, own a person. You know what I mean? It's really weird to me. That's not Yeah, I don't know. Not what it's for. W.E. Wilson said, "What's up, Bruce? How you doing, man?" And Matthias J. Osborne says, "That's actually the same reason why I went overseas myself, and I was lucky enough to meet my wife, who is all about family." Man, I didn't realize how important it was, man, until because I come from a pretty messed up family. Like we're not, and I don't want to talk about. I don't want to dirty my family name or whatever, but we're not very close. I'm close with my mom, and that's about it. We're just not like we're not tight. You know what I mean? So my experience with Yuri having a close knit relationship with my family that lives in this house is something new to me. It's completely new, and I like it. And her attitude about family is something I have had to adopt and to accept, and it's basically it's one of the things that it's a cultural exchange. You know what I mean? Like she's brought this culture of family being a more important part of the life of your life, and there's things that she's accepted from my culture, American culture. Like we do have a culture, um, and that's with warts and all. We do have a culture, But she's accepted some things from American culture, and I've accepted some things from her. I've learned many things from her very beautiful culture, and it's really cool to learn like what it means. It's almost like it helps you learn what it means to be human when you adopt another person's culture and mindset. When you see like another way of looking at life, it's really helpful. Thanks, appreciate that. Yeah, sorry. Is she gonna eat any?
Alyssa has Panda Express.
Okay,
So
thanks.
re-
I'm live,
I'm
so
sorry.
yeah, no problem. Okay, so let me see here. Where was I? Mike T Man. Hey, Mike. Mike is a longtime supporter, man. Thanks, Mike T Man, for all your support, man. I really appreciate you. One of our Patreons. Somebody who's been supporting us from the beginning, and I really appreciate everybody who's been supporting us and wants to hear this, wants to talk, wants to engage, and keep this conversation going. I really do appreciate my our community here. And that being said, if you have videos you want us to if you have videos that you want us to promote or put on our channel to promote your channel, we'll do it. Just let us know. We just have to have permission. We don't want to post your stuff without your consent. Corey Walker says, "I agree, Bruce. American is headed to a possessions over having supporting the family and family values." And I want to say, and I know some people are going to disagree with me, and I understand why. I understand. I love America. This is somebody I'm speaking from somebody who's been a black man who's been to 15 different countries. I've had the full black experience, if you know what I mean. you know, I've felt like real racism, I know there's problems here, man. We have problems. We definitely have problems, but there's so much good, man. It like the idea of this country is incredible. So I'm not one of those guys who's trying to leave America, or whatever, and say, I'm done with this place. That's not me personally. If that's you, then I definitely understand why. But me, man, I love it. I like being able to go to Walmart at 11 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? I like being able to eat junk food, at Americanized Taco Bell or whatever. Like I don't take any part of this for granted, man. Having been to the Middle East, Afghanistan, Southeast, all over Southeast Asia. I've been to Australia. I've been to so many different countries, Europe. I've been all over, man, and this is my favorite place. There's some places that definitely beat us, like Thailand is way nicer. The people are way nicer. The food is incredible. Like I love Thailand, man. I would totally live there. Australia was dope. There's some places I would live for sure, but I know that there's some things here that I'm not gonna be able to get there. and I really appreciate those things. And but yeah, we do have problems, and one of those is something Corey Walker is mentioning, which is America is headed for possessions over having supporting the family. It's just we're just going through this huge transition, especially with the gender roles. Like it's just changing, man. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. It just is what it is. It is what it is. Um, I was raised by women, a strong black woman. I have everybody in my family, with the exception of maybe two people, are women. So I totally support women's rights, all that kind of stuff. But it takes two people to build a relationship, So I just hope that we'll go in that direction. I hope that that's why I left. I mean, that's why I started looking outside of the U.S. because of that dynamic is not here. What we got going on here is not for me. Just going down the slippery slope is just a different kind of thing. Masada says, well, that's why I wanted an Asian wife. I hope they were more about family. And it's not all. It's not all. I mean, Japanese was. I was with a Japanese lady. She was not family oriented at all. It was worse than Americans. It's not all Asians, man. Every culture is different. Philippines is very family oriented. And that's the only one I could say that I'm like. I lived in Korea for like a year and a half. I mean, I was with a Korean woman for many years. It's different. You know what I'm saying? Not good or bad. It's just different. It's not like the Philippines. Philippines is very family oriented. More like what you see in like South America. They have more in common with South America than they do with Thailand or Korea or Japan or China. I'm serious, man. And that's because of the influence of Spain. I think that's my opinion about it. Seems like. Big Rob says, she was so beautiful. Why would anyone hurt her? Yeah, I know, right? Talking about Jespsy. W.E. Wilson says, we're in the Philippines. We're here in the Philippines now. Cavite. Finished playing for my house here with my wife in 3 months, a year to retire. Man, congrats. Congrats on your retirement. And Mickey says, way to you go, W.E. Wilson. I want your plan. Congrats, man. Excuse me. Congrats on your retirement, man. Just enjoy it because that place is awesome, man. I love the Philippines. Mickey says, bar girls trying to survive. Yeah, I agree, man. They're just trying to get that money. I can't be mad at that. She's trying to get her money. But marrying, wifing them. There's this really good song. I don't know if you guys heard it. It's from J. Cole. It's about she don't want to be saved. You got to hear that song, man. If you haven't heard it, just type in she don't want to be saved. What J. Cole is saying is that there's some hoes out there, man. And these dudes are trying to save them. And they're not trying to be saved. He says in the chorus, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. That's a bar girl. She don't want to be saved, man. Don't get me wrong. Like I said before, there are some who want that life, who want that wifey life. You know what I'm saying? But some, just like J. Cole said, man, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Most of them don't want to be saved. They just want that. They just want that Skrilla. They want that money, right? And you just happen to have it. You have their money in your pocket. Sometimes that's their mentality, and I understand it because where I'm from, that's people's mentality. Hustle, like by any means necessary. Is it good? Is it positive? No, it is what it is though. Survival mode. Corey Walker says, I treat everyone how I want to be treated, how I want to be. That's the golden rule, right? In the Bible, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. Sagas says, so true to support. So true on the support, Bruce. Filipina wife and I went to our rental property to remove weeds and trim trees on Friday. I thanked her because My priority, my prior wife didn't want to get her nails dirty. Man, same situation, man. Tell you guys some personal stuff that I probably shouldn't talk about, man. The comparison is crazy. Like my ex wife compared to my current wife, man. The ex is still fucking excuse my French, is still like still sucking the just wants things, you know what I mean? Just like me, give me. And would never help me with business. I had several businesses when I was with her. Never helped. And then I would even show her like here's how you can help me, and then I'll share them. We'll have a business together, all this. Didn't want to do anything but spend the money. And then now currently Yuri and I are grinding, man, like together. If it's properties, she's with me. If it's and not only with me, not only helping me, but like forming it with me, like coming up with the ideas, forming it, and like, man, what if we do this? Yeah, but if we do this, how could we increase our investment in this? Like, she's with me. We're on the same page, and I can never get my ex to do that kind of stuff. And this is an American woman having lived here in the U.S. her whole life, just pampered, just completely taken care of. Like, not many days in her life she wasn't taken care of. The contrast is it's crazy, man. It's crazy, the contrast, the difference in mindset is amazing to me. But I'm very happy with Yuri. Like, even though times get rough and we have all these challenges, she faces it with me, and that's important. And vice versa, challenges in her life, and I'm there with her. Whatever happens, I'm with her. Mickey says, host and parasite relationship. That's what I had, man. That's what I still have with my ex. Believe it or not, crazy. And then the way that the government, like the laws here of the alimony things, like, dude, like, what happened to women's lib? Like, aren't you, like, don't you want to take care of yourself? Like, why am I taking care of you if it's women's liberation? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that whole, aren't you independent? Aren't you an independent woman? Like, why am I taking care of you after all these years? Corey Walker says it's a toxic cycle that repeats itself over and over again. Bar girl syndrome. Let's see. Broly Khan, how you doing, man? My fellow nerd in the house. He says a negative environment will make you into a negative person. And it's crazy. Like, if you can find a good bar girl, you found a diamond in the rough. You found somebody who made it out of a very adverse situation. So, but the thing is, there's not many of those who do make it out, and the ones who do are already taken. That's my argument, because there's not many good ones, and as soon as a good one comes up, somebody is on that. Mr. Mighty Man says, that's it, Mickey. Host and parasite relationship, man. So right. Let me see. Somebody said Filipino Cupid. I found my fiance on Filipino Cupid. Yep. There's good ones on there. Very, very good women on there. Amazing women on Filipino Cupid. But you gotta weed through you gotta get through all the weeds, man. You gotta get through all the scammers and the users and the charity cases and stuff to find that one. But that means you gotta ignore and just cut through all those ones. Mickey says scammers can't wait to ask for money. Time is the real way to tell the truth. Yeah, I agree with that about your girl. Time shows everything. It sure does, man. I definitely agree with you there, Mickey. Broly Khan says you will also meet the cam girls on Filipino Cupid. Excuse me, if that's what you are into. Yeah, you'll meet some of those. They're just business women. I'm not mad at cam girls, because they're trying to make that money. That's it. It's just a business. Their customers are on the dating sites. I understand. Like, they're trying to make that money. They're trying to find new customers. So where else would you find it but thirsty dudes on dating sites? Brilliant. I think that's smart. Mickey says, it has taken us 3 years to get this all together. Take your time. Yep. Take your time, man. Take your time, Masada. Take your time because, man, you got to do it right. So take your time. Saget says, Wilson, I'm a few years away, but I can't wait to move to the Philippines. Congrats. Yep, congrats to you guys. I would suggest talking to other expats who are living there just to get a feel for what's going to happen there when you go there. Mickey says, Bruce is the only reason I stay with my girl. Bruce and Yuri changed my life and made me believe again. Real talk. Wow, man. That means a lot to me, man. Thanks, Mickey. Especially from a wise dude like you, man. Yeah, man. I just, like, I hit rock bottom, man. Like, that probability thing, man, I'm telling you, that's what got me through. Like, I was like, man, there's got to be somebody out of all the women on earth. I know there's some good ones. Like, I know not just good, but great. I know there's great ones. I'm not going to give up hope. Don't give up hope, man. And then when you find that one, this is the way I feel about it. Like, and I know that some people may differ in this, but you are a team, right? If you're on a team, like, I always think of it like, remember Scottie Pippen and Jordan? Don't you, like, as Pippen, he wasn't the best. I mean, Jordan was so much better than Scottie Pippen on the Bulls, right? He was so much, but instead of Pippen being mad, he was like, they were winning championships. Why would you be mad that your partner is on your level or greater than you? You want somebody. And here's another analogy for you. Bill Gates, Ralph Ellison, not Ralph. What is his name? Mr. Ellison from Oracle. Bill Gates, creator of Microsoft, right? At something like 15 years old, by the way. Mr. Ellison, I can't remember his first name. I'm confusing it with the writer Ralph Ellison, but his name's not Ralph Ellison. It's Ellison, the guy who created Oracle. Who else? Google, now named Alphabet. What all these guys have in common, and even Elon Musk, what all these guys have in common is that they all hired people smarter than them. Like, basically people who, they're smart, but they get somebody on their team who is their equal or better. That's what you're trying to find in a relationship. Larry Ellison, that's it. Sorry. Yep. Who said that? Thank you, whoever said that. Larry Ellison, yes. So you want somebody, this is how I think about it. You want somebody on your team who's your better. Like, who complements your weakness. You have weaknesses, right? You want them to be strong in certain areas, right? Because, Pippen's hitting those threes. He's good from the outside, but like Jordan is in the inside. He's on the outside. He's an awesome guard. He does everything. They got to put like 50 dudes on him to stop him. You want Michael Jordan on your team. You know what I mean? When you're looking for somebody, especially Masada, if you're looking right now, man, you want somebody on your team who is as good or better than you. But that means that this woman is smart as hell. She's smart as hell. She's not a bimbo. She's not a dummy. So you got to treat her as your equal or your better. You know what I'm saying? You got to because you guys are trying to win a championship. So you got to come strong too, though, because that's your team. Like, what I'm getting at is you want somebody on your team who's going to be strong. You don't want a submissive. No, I'm not saying, like, okay, this is a hard one. Submissive is not the right word. No, it's a dirty word. What I mean is you want somebody as dedicated to the team as you are, to the goal as you are. That's what I'm saying. You want somebody dedicated to the cause. So that's how I feel about the relationship thing. All right, let me keep going here. Wilson says, I think the best way to meet a Filipina is to just come to the Philippines and see what it has to offer. There are a lot of good women here, beautiful women. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people that I met, they met their girl by just going to the Philippines, and then boom. And that's the thing, like, you're going to meet so many incredible people there, when you go. The Philippines is so incredible, man. Another great place, too, that we don't often talk about is Thailand. I would highly, highly recommend checking out Thailand, too. Masada says, W.E. Wilson, I'm coming there in July. I've been there 5 times already. Masada, what did you think, man? Did you like it? Let me see here. Okay, got a lot of stuff, guys. I'm churning through these comments. Some really good ones that I'm kind of skimming through, reading. Mickey says, I definitely was not looking for a Filipina. I had no idea about the culture and the lifestyle. I got lucky. Very lucky. Very few Filipino men marry outside their ethnic group. Yeah, I know a couple, but yeah, you're right. Um, yeah, I know a couple who have married outside. Masada says, Bruce, those stories you're talking about, Filipinas, are the reason I was thinking one was for me. I love the family togetherness, but I have to watch out for the scammers and green card wanters. Yeah, that's the thing, man. You gotta Masada. That's why Mickey and all these guys are telling you take your time, because there are definitely bad ones, man. Like I'm not, like if you watch our channel, if you've watched our channel any length of time, we talk about the bad and the good. It's mostly good. It's because we, obviously we've had luck with it. But what I'm saying is we're not ignoring when people don't have luck with it, because there are definitely a lot of scammers, man. Especially if you go to Filipino Cupid, it's gonna be a lot of scammers and users and like green card wanters or whatever you want to call them. They're there, but like Mickey said, it takes time. If you just wait, if you just get to know the people, like get to know her as a person, and it just develops over time, and either it's going to work or it's not. Either you're going to click or you're not. And you'll know when it clicks, because over time what happens is you don't have a desire to be on the dating sites no more, and she won't have a desire to be on the dating sites no more, and you guys will be like, you know what, I'm off the dating site, I just want to talk to you, because it's so engaging that you don't want to talk to nobody else. Nobody else is capturing your interest anymore, and hers too. That's when you start to know, this is the one for me. Like, this is one not necessarily yet for me, but I want to really get to know this person. Mickey says, a Filipino man told me that there is no better woman, and he was an American doctor who has dated everything. Saget says, I'm with you, Mickey. I was not looking for one. Mine fell into my world and gave it life. Yeah, something about it, man. Like those women, like something. Right now, it's at this cultural arc where the women are so strong. The women are such strong. I'm trying to put it in the right words. Like this is just my opinion about it. I think the Filipino women are like, they're the rock of the family. It's like they're Spartans. It's like, have you ever heard the story of Spartans, where the Spartans are like, from a very young age, from a baby, they're like thrown in the woods, and they have to like fend for themselves, and they become these warriors because they're put in these harsh conditions, and they're just baptized by fire, and by the time if they ever reach adulthood, they're monsters, I think the same things happen to Filipinas. Is Filipinas are like, they go through some hard times, man. In the Philippines, Filipinos are going through hard times, and they're the rock of the family. They're expected to like hold the whole family on their shoulders. They're like, a lot of times they're the breadwinner. So you got this woman who, from a very young age, who's been taught to be the rock of the family, and then by the time they hit their teen years, they're often breadwinners somehow, some way. They're not going to abandon their kid. Some of them do. Now, I'm not talking about all Filipinos. Okay, there's some that do their own thing, and they're independent women, and they do whatever they want because they are gonna, because women's live in independence and all that stuff. Yes, that's true. But I'm saying that the ones you're looking for are the ones who are Spartans. You know what I mean? Like, they're hard. They're hard. They're battle hardened. Now they just want to find a partner, a good partner who's mature, who's a good man, who's gonna go the distance with them. That's what they're looking for. And is that you? If that's you, then you may have found yourself a great partner. Whereas in America, it's different. Like, Americans, like, we're very pampered, spoiled. It's two sides to everything. Like, on the one hand, our life is so good. it's so good that we can take it for granted and complain about nonsense. Don't get me wrong. There's some things that we have a legitimate complaint about, but for the most part, like we're not. Our people. If you go to the Philippines, you see little kids in the street with no clothes on, begging for money. Do you see that in America? You know what I'm saying? Yes, there's poverty in America. Yes, there's really bad situations, but it's not like the Philippines, man. It's just not. It's just not. It's on a whole different level there. Like the hard choices that those people have to make, you know, especially if you're poor. Like poor there means something totally different than it means. Poor here means it's hard for you to have cable. You know what I mean? Like poor here is like you can still live in a shelter here. We have shelters here. You know what I mean? You could stand on the corner and make a lot of money if you're a panhandler in certain parts of the states. You can find clothes. Free people will give you free clothes and food if you know where to look. There's food banks here. The Philippines don't have that kind of stuff, man. It's just not, and they do. It's like little pockets. They don't have. That's why you'll see kids with no clothes in the rain. I mean, heartbreaking. Women outside with no home, with their baby sleeping on the side of the street. That's what you see in the Philippines. You don't see that. You don't see that here. You just don't. You know, it's a different. Poverty is different there. So, and that said, women work. People work way harder. It's survival mode. It's survival of the fittest. It's a different mentality, man. Like here, we're pampered and babied, and we can cry about, oh man, my cup broke today. You know, my coffee, my favorite coffee cup broke. You know, those are my favorite socks. That's what, you know. It's just our mentality is different. You know, and we're spoiled brats. We have a whole different set of first world problems that we have to deal with. Let's see here. Whoa, just opened up the package and it was a Yuri Bruce mug. Congrats, sir. Congrats. That's for you. For supporting us. We love you, man. Yuri Bruce has a mug. I thought it was just a t-shirt. Don't wear it in the Philippines. Don't wear that t-shirt to Philippines unless you're very brave. Mickey says, Bruce, preach. Speak that knowledge. Love has to be the only reason for going through this process. Man, I'm telling you. That process is going to test you. And if you're just trying to own somebody, man, you're in the wrong country. You're in the wrong country, in the wrong side of history, in the wrong country. There's places you can do that. Middle East. You could probably do that in the Middle East. Yeah, you can own people in the Middle East. Totally, man. Totally. But here, no, man. No, that's over. Those days are done. Mickey says, I love America too, but I'm done. I don't see America changing. It's getting worse instead of improving. Our fears are making things worse, and we have Donald Trump because of our fears. I think that in a way, and I know you don't think I'm crazy for this, but I think that it's a positive thing that he's president. And the reason why I say that is it's bringing it all out in the open. All that stuff is bubbling to the top, man. Like Malcolm X said, it's chicken that's coming home to the roost. All that stuff is bubbling up to the surface, and you can see it in plain as day, because of this guy. And it's not like it was hidden before. You know what I mean? Now it's right in your face, and I think that's good. It's exposing. It's drawing the line. It's putting it right out in the open. Don't get me wrong. I think that I wish it could have gone in a different way, but things are playing out, I think, the way they're supposed to. We'll see how it goes. You know, it's a very precarious situation we've gotten ourselves into. Some people would call it good. I certainly not one of those people. But it's something that basically had to happen, is what I'm saying. Like, it had to happen this way, and I just think it's one step in the evolution towards something better. I hope. That said, you know, if more power to you. You're going to the Philippines. I know some very happy men who are living in the Philippines. I met many who are living in the Philippines, living an amazing life. And yeah, that's great. I think that's incredible. I got nothing bad to say about the Philippines or living there personally. Me personally, I the reason like I couldn't do it is because of the poverty there. The poverty is insane. Um, I can't just sit around and see that level of poverty and not do anything. So I know how it would be there. I know that I would be, if you want to see an example of how I would more than likely turn out. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but a foreigner in the Philippines, if you ever seen his channel, they do a lot of charity work, and they got attacked for it. They got attacked for doing charity work. I'm like, wow, dude. They what they do is they set up these like the dude's got money rolling in, right? And they've got like 100,000 subscribers, so they got money coming from YouTube, and they got money from his retirement, money here and there. But they also have all these connections, so they're getting donations to help people build houses and help people off the streets and help people fix their roofs. And they're just some really kind, good people, you know. A foreigner in the Philippines. If you never heard of him, go to YouTube, type a foreigner in the Philippines. This is dude from the UK and his wife, who's much younger than him. But they're just good people. They want to help people out. You know, that's how I would be there. But the thing is, they attacked him and his wife for helping people. Think about that. Like, what kind of... I don't know. Like, that's something that will bother me a lot. Every country has problems. I'll just put it to you that way. Every country I've gone to has issues, and this country is no different. And I know what you mean. I don't blame you at all for leaving. You know, and I'm sure you'll do better in another country. I'm so sure. You know, especially if you got that mindset, that go get it attitude. Mickey says, "I feel you, Bruce. I tried to save several. I keep a cape in the closet." You're killing me, Mickey. Okay, if you didn't, I'm not even gonna repeat the reference. I know he's saying I keep a cape in the closet. Man, I'm telling you, I was the same way, man. I got a big heart, and I was seeing like, you need $30. $30 is nothing to me. That's like a dinner, you know what I mean? So I'm like, you know, but the thing is, that's not the place to. You can't save them, man. They don't want to be saved, just like J. Cole says. Thank you so much, Mike T Man, for that $10. Appreciate you. Let me see your message here. He says, "Thanks, Bruce and Yuri, for all that you guys do on your channels. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for that donation, and thank you for your patronage too, man. It does not go unnoticed by me and Yuri. You're one of those people we talk about, man, in a good way, by the way." Mickey says, Yuri Bruce has mo. Okay, I already read that one. Let me see here. I'm trying to catch up where I was before. Where was I? Corey Walker says, "I thought you was talking about Project Pat. Don't save her at first." Project Pat. I haven't heard that name in a long time. No, I'm talking about, that's J. Cole's song. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Man, check that out. Project Pat. There's another one called by E40 called Captain Save-A-Ho. That one's not so positive. But J. Cole's song, that one's pretty, like, he's dropping knowledge on that one, man. Basically what he's saying is, I'm trying to find a real woman. Like, I'm not trying to find like somebody who's fun for a minute. I'm not trying to find, I mean, yeah, I'll do it. He's saying in the song, like, yeah, I hooked up with one or two of them, but after we're done, you gotta go. You know, that's it. I'm not trying to hook up with you. Like, he's saying, like, where are all the good women at? Where are the Michelle Obamas? Where are the good women, like, who are gonna be there and help you to go this next level? You know what I mean? That's what he's saying in the song. Real positive song. J. Cole's one of my favorites, man. Mike T Man says, "Don't think that Panay women are pushovers. They're very strong women. Yes, they are, but family oriented. If you treat her like a queen, you will not regret it." Yeah, absolutely. You find a good one, man, they're gonna treat you like a king. Like a king. and I'm not exaggerating. You find a bad one, she's gonna treat you like dirt, kick you to the curb, and take all your money. Mike, Mickey says the difference between my ex and my fiance is unbelievable in regards to business. Man, Mickey, I'm telling you, man, you and me, man, like I feel you, man. I feel you. It's crazy, man. The difference is insane. Mr. Mike T Man says my Pinay and I are like are like that now, Bruce. We're making decent money in the Philippines by their standards. Yeah. Rob, Big Rob. Okay, he's talking to Mickey. Big Rob says, Mickey, I'm completely with you on that. I'm not looking to retire in the U.S. I'm actually trying to build my business here and move overseas. Yeah, that's a great idea. So I met one time I was in Cebu. Now, I don't know if I've ever told this story, but man, it's powerful. So I'm in Cebu. Me and Yuri are chilling, and like we like to do, just go to a club and chill. You know, kicking back, smoking some shisha, drinking a little bit, get up, dance a little bit, and this brother comes to me, tall, light skinned brother comes to me, and he's like, where did you find her? Referring to Yuri. Like, it's kind of cool. Like some guys will come up to me and they'll see Yuri and they're like, oh my god, because Yuri dresses up really nice, man. Like in the clubs, and maybe one day I'll show you. Like maybe we'll go to the Philippines or we'll go to some country and we'll be out partying, and I'll show you guys. Like she dresses up really nice, man. She looks really good. When she's all dressed up, she, wow. Like I feel very lucky. You know what I mean? It's one of those girls that people are looking at her and they're looking at me, my bald ass, and they're like, that guy must be rich. Yeah. I'm very rich in one aspect. Anyway, so we're in this club, we're chilling, and then this brother comes up to me. He's from America. He's got the accent, you know. He's got the accent. He's like, man, where'd you find her? And I'm like, you know, just we met online or whatever. He says, man, I've been in Cebu for X amount of years. And I'm like, how are you living here? Like, what are you doing? And he said, basically, he was a house flipper. He would buy homes that people didn't pay their taxes for. He would buy them cheap on the auction. So I guess if you don't pay your taxes on the property, the state or the county will auction off your house. They'll foreclose it and then auction off your house, right? So this guy comes in, he pays the taxes on it, he assumes the house, and then he flips it or something to that effect. But he was doing that over and over again, and he had tenants and stuff in the U.S. So he had like maybe 4 or 5 properties where he had flipped them or had renters. Long story short, he had income coming in from these houses, and every now and then he would go back and do business in the U.S. or whatever. But his money was coming from the U.S. But he's living like a king there because he's making, I don't know. He was very happy. He had a huge smile on his face. So that smile says to me upwards of 5 figures a month. I don't know. It had to be a lot because the dude was very happy. He was a very confident and happy man. And I love meeting guys like that because it makes me learn so much. Because I just ask him questions. I'm like, so what did you do? How did you do it? I'm like taking notes, you know. That's how I am. I'm not like a hater, you know. I like to learn from people who know more than me. So he's talking, and I'm like, man, you know, how do you... And he's explaining it to me step by step. And he's living in the Philippines with... And now he's a gigolo, so girls are coming in and out of his condo. He's living in a condo. The dude's living like a king. So, man, it can be done. Like, I met several dudes who are doing it, man. You know, in different ways. Some guys just retired and had, you know, 2,000-3,000 coming in from their retirement or whatever. And I met dudes who started businesses there. All kinds of walks of life. Black, white, rich, poor. I met all kinds of people finding that flow and that cash flow, that hustle to make it work. So you can make it work, man. It's definitely doable, and Philippines is a great place right now. And I can't say anything bad about it. Like if you're in Thailand, I would say something totally different because Thailand just changed their visa stuff to something completely different, you know? So if it was Thailand or if it was like one of these hot spots, I would say, you know. But Philippines is still dope. Like there's nothing like There's it's still really positive for people. Yuri is sending me a message here. Yeah, she's talking about something totally different. Let me just message her real quick. Maybe she'll appear on here at work. Anyway, so yeah, man, I met so many incredible. That's what I love about being overseas is I meet these people who are just like old, rich, poor, young, broke. Like I meet these guys who are hustlers overseas. A whole different mindset than the mindset here, where we just get locked in this employee mode. Over there, you have to come with a passive income plan. You have to have some passive income stream because you can't. It's harder to start a business there. You know what I mean? It's just harder. And then even if you start a legit business there, the income is not as good. You know, it's just not like if you have a sorry store, you're gonna make $50 a month, $100 a month, which is it's okay or whatever, but for the Philippines, but like here you can make pretty good chunk of change that's gonna not gonna be great here, but over there you're gonna be able to live pretty decent, pretty comfortable life. Let me see. Pete Afford says, "Ooh, this is a good one. This is a good one. This is a good one." He says, "I met someone from Kenya and she's great. I can't wait to see her." Oh yeah, man, Pete. I hope you're still here, man. I want to hear more about this. I love to hear more about the African experience because a lot of the guys I talked to when I used to work in Kuwait and there was some guys who exclusively dated African women. They dated Kenyan women and Ethiopian women, and think I'm missing a couple. Ghana, and the weird thing, they're so different. Like the women there are so different. It's very similar to Filipinas, like in that they're hard workers. All, like really trying to work for the family. Like it's a whole different mindset, over like in Kenya and like, yeah, I'm sure there, you have your dirt bags just like in every country, but there's just, man, I heard some great stories from Ethiopia and from Kenyan people and from like all these different places in Africa. I would love to hear more from you, Pete, if you have more stories. Let me see. And beautiful too, like with a ridiculous body. Anyway, BSKR7 says, "Hey Bruce, the homicide hunter detective Joe Kenda can help. Can find Jespsy. Her family should email the show about her disappearance." So KSVSKR7. What you want to do is contact. You can go on this Facebook. See this little link right here. This little link, right? I don't know if you can see that, but it's like right. It's right over here at the bottom of that screen there. If you look at that one, you go to there, and then you should tell them like about this person. I've never heard of this homicide detective person, Joe Kenda. But man, go on that. That's where people are talking about. That's her mom's Facebook, and then post it on there. I mean, maybe they'll want to do something. Maybe they'll want to reach out to that guy. Mr. Mike T. Man says, "Okay, imagine having to live off $7 USD a day and raising a poor family, right? That's how hard it is there." Mickey says, I'm with you, Big Rob. 10 years, I'm out." Mickey says, "I don't think you're crazy, and you're right. This is the end of all the hidden. This is the end of all the hidden things. But our fear and love of taking the easy way will cause us not to transform." We'll see. I'm really hoping for the best, Mickey. What I've learned, man, is that every country has problems. Big problems. Like here we have a huge deficit. We have this weird hate of immigrants, which is really weird since everybody here is an immigrant with the exception of Native Americans. This is weird. That whole mindset to me is just stupid. But we have like there are problems here. You know what I'm saying? There are definitely problems. But if you go to the Philippines, man, you're gonna see problems there too, man. You're gonna see some severe problems that you're gonna have to deal with. You're gonna have to face them, especially if you live there. And I'm sure expats will tell you, yeah, you know, there's problems here. I'm not trying to. I'm definitely not trying to steer you from going there. I mean, it's beautiful. I love the Philippines. It's just every place has problems. You know what I mean? So if you're trying to escape problems here and go there, you know, they're going to have problems too. Let me see. Pete says, yes, they're called squeegee boys. What? I must have missed. I missed that one. I missed that. I don't know where you are in that conversation about the squeegee boys. So I'm just going to keep reading. Mr. Mike T. Man says, Bruce, it was the other expats that started the attacks and the jealousy. Yeah, that makes sense. I heard. Yeah, I know some of them personally were attacking them. I'm like, man, I know. I talked to one guy, and I'm not gonna mention any names or anything, but one guy was like super. Oh, man, it's weird. He was kind of jealous, or I don't know. I don't want to say he's jealous. I don't know what his mind state was, but he was telling me he was trying to build a case against them, against the foreigner in the Philippines, of why they were bad. And I'm like, dude, like, I'm watching their videos, man. They're just helping people, you know? I mean, yes, they should have this form or whatever for charity, but they're just trying to help people. Why are you so bitter about it? You know what I mean? Like, and I know this person, you know. This is so weird to me. I didn't understand why they were attacking them when you're helping people who have their rain coming in their house. They're helping people whose roof is gone, helping them build a roof so that their baby doesn't get rain on them. You know what I mean? Like, you're mad because they didn't have the right paperwork with the DSWD or whatever. You know what? That's just weird, man. Strange. Mickey says, talking about Trump. I don't even want to talk about that right now. I don't want to talk about it. It's divisive. I'll read your comment. It says Trump has an approval rating of 44%. 44% of 370 million. Just think about it for a minute. Over 170 million people are cool with the direction of leadership in our country. Well, Mickey, okay, here, I'll put it to you like this. Here's how I think about it. So he lost the popular vote by a lot, by a landslide, right? By a landslide, the largest margin in history. So I see what you're saying, but they cheated, man. Mickey, they cheated, man. They cheated. And I don't want to go down this road. I got so much to say about it. I do, but I don't want to make this into a political channel. I know, but I'll just tell you what I feel about it. Okay. Number one, he lost the popular vote by a landslide, the largest margin in history. Number two, they cheated. Okay, in several ways. Gerrymandering, right, is what they cheated. Gerrymandering is legalized cheating, and they did it. And they've been doing it for years, and that's why that's the only reason they continue to win elections. And when I say they, I mean the GOP. What else did they do? Another country, and this is a fact. I mean, I don't know why we even argue this, but another country literally helped one side. Another country, one of the strongest countries in the world, helped one side. There's multiple ways that they won. Okay, so I know what you mean. Like 44%, yeah, that's bad. That is definitely bad. But remember, he lost the popular vote by a landslide. And then also, there's a change. What's happening right now? Here's my just my opinion. Okay, I don't know anything. Keep in mind, I'm an idiot. I don't know anything. I'm some random freaking guy. But not only did they lost by a landslide in the popular vote. They cheated with gerrymandering. That's what it is. It's cheating. They divided the voting areas in certain way that helps them to win the senatorial. So 44%, that's bad. I feel you. Yes, that's true. But what's happening right now, in my opinion, is that there's a change happening. There's a huge shift in what's acceptable and what's not. It's happening right now, and that's what I think is going on. If you look at like what's happening in Congress, what's happening in these battles that they're having, like with the Justice Department, like as far as getting nominees, it's this huge shift happening, man. And there's like the death throes of an old guard that's losing, and they're losing very badly. They're sore losers, and that's what I think is happening. Just my opinion. And if you happen to be a Trump supporter, keep in mind your guy won. Congratulations. But I think things are going to change. Just my personal opinion. Let me see. Pete says, what do you think of Kenyan women? Man, Kenyan women are beautiful. They're so sweet. So nice. We have a few Kenyan women who follow us and we've talked to. They're so freaking sweet, man. So nice. And they just have this whole different mindset. The ones I've met anyway have been super nice, super beautiful, just sweethearts. It's so different than American women. It's so different, man. American people in general is just totally different mindset. BSK says, Mickey, Trump is the most effed up POTUS we've ever had. Even deserve to be called per LK. I'm not gonna go down that. I'm not gonna go down that route. Because I already know we have people on. We have people who support him. We have people who don't support him. It is what it is. My thing is just vote, guys. Don't. Yuri's the good news is Yuri is now a citizen, so she will be voting. Get your girl some citizenship so she can vote too. That's what we need to do is vote. Let me see. Mike T Man says, yes, the bad ones will knock your dick in the dirt. You are rich, Bruce, because Yuri. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Hayward Robinson says, I retired from trucking and I can't make up my mind. Should I go to the Dominican Republic, Brazil, Thailand, or the Philippines? What are you trying to do, Mr. Hayward? What are you trying to do? What I mean to say is, Mr. Hayward Robinson, are you trying to be a gigolo and just go from woman to woman? Are you trying to get laid and that's it? Are you trying to go there and party like a madman? Because if that's the case, I would say go to all of them. I will probably not go to Dominican Republic right now. There's some issues going on with it. I don't know what's going on, but something like 5 different Americans have died there recently. I don't know. You should probably follow the news on that. I would just find out what the heck's going on because I don't personally know, but it's kind of back to back recently. That being said, I know some Americans who are in and out of there all the time, and they're fine. Me personally, I'm gonna have to give that a rest for a bit myself. Brazil, I don't know nothing about Brazil except they got some fine women there. Thailand and Philippines. I've been to both these places, and if you're trying to just party like crazy, I would go to Thailand, Pattaya. And that's all you want to do is party and just be a male hoe. Probably Thailand, walking street, which is in Pattaya. Philippines also has a walking street. It's a little grimier. But yeah, you could party there. If you're trying to find like a wife, I gotta go with the Philippines. If you're trying to wife up somebody, I would go on the dating sites. I mean, this is what I did. I went on the dating sites. I had like 5 or 6 different profiles on 5 or 6 different sites. What I would do if I were you, if you're really like trying to find something, is have one in the Philippines, dating site Philippines, one in Thailand, dating site, one in Brazil, and maybe one in Dominican Republic. Like 4 different profiles, right? And you're very active. You have your picture there. You're very straightforward with people in your description. You're engaged, and you're actually seeking women out. You're going on there. You're talking to them. You're talking to them back and forth. Right. This is gonna take time and a little bit of money. Uh, Try all of them if you're looking for somebody serious, and see which ones are more responsive. Um, and I don't, I'm not suggesting that Philippines will be more responsive because I honestly don't know. Um, but I have a feeling that when you do that, you're gonna find you'll find a Filipino woman the fastest. Just my opinion, but we'll see. Joe Canetta is well known detective in Colorado Springs. Is he an independent? Okay, I'm gonna write this name down. You piqued my interest. He's local. Okay, let me. He's here in Colorado Springs, huh? Then I definitely have to see who this person is. Kenda. Joe Kenda. All right, I'll look him up. Investigator. Is he private investigator? Investigator. I'll look him up. Maybe what I'll do is, if it's legit, like if it's like something that I feel like they can do, like maybe he does stuff gratis or something, or maybe he's already on the case. I'll email them this guy's contact information. So he has a popular show in investigative Discovery Channel. Okay, yeah, I'll check him out. VSK, I'm not trying to take over Bruce's channel with Trump talk. I just think we need to prepare for how our country is changing. I just have a lot of hope, man. I just think it's changing for the better. I still believe in the ideals of the U.S. It's like when you look at it like this. Here's how I see it. Like, you're gonna go to the Philippines. Let's say me, and I'll put myself in that situation. I go to the Philippines, and I love the Philippines, and I'm there for 10 years. Thing is, I can never be a Filipino, man. You know why? Because of this right here. I'll never be a Filipino. But if a Filipino comes to America, they can be an American. You go to Japan, and you live in Japan. You love Japan. You speak fluent Japanese. And you're there for 30 years. You're never going to be Japanese. They're never going to accept you. Never, man, because you're not They're just a different mindset in Southeast Asia, man. It's just a different mindset. It's not like Western culture. It's just not like, even if you go to South Africa, like if I go to South Africa, right? I go to South Africa, I can be a South African after a certain amount of time. I can call myself legitimately a South African citizen. I can go to Australia and call myself in Australia after I go through all, their process, right? After X amount of years. They have the amount of years and documents you have to do, maybe some things you have to pay or whatever. But eventually, I can call myself a British citizen. I can call myself an Australian. I can call myself an American or Canadian. You go to Southeast Asia, man, they don't have that. You're never going to be Chinese. You're never going to be Filipino. You're never going to be, no matter how much you love it, no matter what you contribute, you're never going to be one of them. They'll never accept you. And it's just how it is there. It's just my take on it. They're not gonna disrespect. When I've been there, I've never been disrespected. Like, everybody showed love. I'm not trying to take anything away from the beauty that's there, man. Especially Thailand, man. People are just so smiley and so nice and sweet. But I'll never be a Thai. I'll never be able to call myself Thai. It's just how it is, man. It's how it is. It's sad, It's something that, having lived in Southeast Asia, it's just like something that hit me. Like, damn, that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter that I'm black or if you happen to be white or Mexican. It doesn't matter. You're not Thai, because you're not Thai. That's why. You know what I mean? I think if you're favorite, like, probably Tiger Woods would be accepted there because he's part Thai, even though he's mixed. They probably accept him. Like if you're famous, maybe they could probably make you an honorary Thai or Filipino or whatever. But it's just a different mindset there, man. And I'm not saying it's racist or whatever. That's not what I'm suggesting. It's just how it is there, you know. Um, I remember my friend who's part Japanese. He real smart brother, like super smart, one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. He is black, Filipino, and Japanese, right? And really, nationally, culturally, he's more Japanese than anything because he grew up in Okinawa. Um, Super smart guy, most talented. He can so this guy can sing well. He looks like a male model, like he's an attractive guy. Like I'm not gay or anything, but if I was a woman, I would definitely hit that. He's like 6'1". He's got wavy hair. He's like a beautiful guy, you know. Every time, like, just to give you an example, we walk into somewhere, every woman is looking at this guy, you know. But anyway, he can sing, he can dance. He's like super good at mathematics. Like the guy's like, it's ridiculous, right? It's how some people get those kind of genetics. But so he's telling me the story about how he was in Japan and he speaks fluent Japanese. He probably speaks Japanese better than he speaks English. And his English is flawless, by the way. He doesn't have an accent or anything. But here he is in Japan. He said he goes to this bar, and it's a Japanese only bar. It says on the outside in Japanese only, no foreigners. They have places like that in Southeast Asia. This is how it is there, man. I'm just telling you, it's how it is. So I don't know about Philippines, but for sure they have them in Japan. So he tries to walk in, and there's a bouncer outside, right? Some Yakuza freaking bouncer dude's like, no, 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 in Japanese, like, no, 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 you can't come in because he's dark. He's a dark skinned brother, and he says it in Japanese. He's like, oh, you telling me I can't come in? I'm Japanese, right? And then the guy hears him speak, and then reluctantly lets him in, but only because he was with two other Japanese guys. It's just a different mindset there, man. Southeast Asia. Just be ready for that, Mickey. That's all I'm saying. Is that it's just a different mind. I'm not saying it's like that in Philippines. I've never seen that before. It's just it's just different, man. Just keep that in the back of your head. Mickey says, you may never be a Filipino, but dude, your life isn't on the line because the wrong officer pulled you over. You're not fully accepted in this country after hundreds of years. Racism is everywhere, but acceptance isn't. There are places that we aren't accepted in our own country. We felt more accepted. I felt more accepted in Germany than my own country, and I know what you and I know you know what I mean. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. I definitely know what you mean. Hold on, let me turn these lights on. Yes, I definitely know what you mean. I think to myself, whenever I have the slightest inclination that there's some racial stuff going on, I'm looking around and thinking to myself, I served this country, man. I was in the military for 8 years, and I was in 2 or 3 combat zones, and now you're gonna treat me like this, and I'm like, it's disgusting, but my mindset is like this: no matter where I go, there's gonna be people who don't accept me. I was in Italy, and I remember getting these crazy looks from people, right? I don't know if I was on the wrong side of town or what, but look at me. I look like a Kenyan. I don't look like mixed with anything, I'm a black man, but I'm walking through the street, and they don't like Africans there, so give me dirty looks, right? And my thing is, like, anywhere I go, anywhere, including the U.S., in Southeast Asia, in Italy, Europe, Germany, I get these crazy looks, man. If you don't want me in your shop, if you don't want me you're gonna follow me around your shop. You're gonna treat me a certain kind of way. I'm not gonna be a patron at your place. I'm not gonna spend my money here. If I'm not welcome, I'm not gonna protest. I'm just gonna walk out and not spend my money there. That's how I feel about it. It's like there's this in here in Colorado. We have this huge case in somewhere in Denver, where this and I'm sure you've heard about it because it's made national news several times. But there's this cake maker who's a Christian guy, and these gay couples went there, and they were saying, "Hey, we want you to make a cake for our wedding, and it's for we want it to look like this and like that." And the guy's like, "Look, I don't want to make this cake. I'm not gonna make this cake because I don't agree with your marriage." And so what do? They turn around and they sue the guy, right? And my thing is like this, and they lost the case, by the way. But what's happened is after it made national news, there's all this backlash, and he won the case. So all these other gay couples are trying to go there and say, "Hey, make me a cake or whatever," and he's like, "No, I'm not making you a cake." My thing is like how I've always thought about it is like this: if you don't want if you don't want my money, I will go spend my money with your competition, right? I'm not gonna go where I'm not wanted. So I understand, Mickey, what you're saying about like being harassed by cops, and and I'm not. And let me just back up the story. I don't agree with what the guy did or whatever. I think he should have made the cake or whatever. But the thing is, I believe it's his right to not make it. And you, as a patron, the most powerful thing you can do is walk away and go spend your money somewhere else, not waste your time and money on a lawyer and lose a case. Like that's not, I definitely support your freedom to do whatever the hell you want to do. But to try to impose your views on this guy is not, in my opinion, not right. But I do support, LGBTQ rights and all that kind of stuff. It's just, I just think that you're better served going to spend your money on his competition who's going to make the cake for you. And then they're going to get that money and then promote that guy or girl. So that's just my opinion. Yeah, so I understand what you're saying. Like, why would you want to be somewhere you're not wanted? And I don't feel unwanted in most places me personally, I don't feel unwanted in most places. But I do know what you mean because I've never been harassed by cops, but my mom has. My best friend was. My cousin was. You know what I mean? I have all the stories, and these people are people my mom would not lie about something like that. You know what I mean? It definitely happens. There's stupid ass cops. But I go back to my original thought about it is that every country has problems. This is a big one. That's a big one. It's definitely a big one. And I'm not one of these people who's like, oh well, there's no problems. No, there's definitely. I was a cop for 5 years. Like the fact that the real bad thing about this whole shooting thing of unarmed black men is that the bad thing about it, here it is right here, is that they defend those cops, right? Rather than holding those cops accountable and saying, man, you really messed up. You shot this unarmed man. You see the one where the dude is in the car. Like he gets stopped by the cops. The dude is in the car, and his wife is sitting like right there, and they have to be filming it. His wife is on the passenger side, and he says, "Yes, officer, I have my license and registration." He goes to reach, and the guy freaks out. The cop freaks out, pulls his gun out, and shoots the guy twice. And the guy's sitting there bleeding. He's like, "Why did you shoot me, officer? Why did you shoot me?" And the cop immediately realized he screwed up. And the cop is like, "Oh man, I'm sorry. I apologize." And he starts calling the ambulance right away because he just freaked out. My thing is like the real problem is what's happening. Twofold really, but the main reason is the real bad thing is that they defend the cops, and rather than holding them accountable and holding them to this higher standard, they defend them. And it makes it all look bad. It makes our whole system look bad when they do that. And that whole mentality, like they should be held to a higher standard. Chris Rock said it best. He said the argument for those cops that are shooting unarmed black men is there are a few bad apples, right? That's the argument. There's just a few bad apples, and that's not right. It's a few bad apples. And Chris Rock has a great point. He says, okay, so if what if pilots had a few bad apples? What if so pilot crashes into the ground, crashes the plane, and then the Boeing's explanations, oh well, there's a few bad apples. Pilots, United or Delta says, oh, there's a few bad apples. The point is, some career fields can't have bad apples. You know what I mean? They cannot have, and being in the cop thing, you can't have bad apples. It's an important role. It's an extremely important, authoritative role that we're supposed to trust these police officers with our lives. You can't have bad apples, and that's why they should hold them to a higher standard. But they don't. They just don't do that. Give the parents of this killed kid $1.3 million, but this cop doesn't get any punishment. Ridiculous. It's sad. It's really sad. That's a huge problem in this country, for sure. And I don't know that we have the political will to fix it, especially not now. And unfortunately, that's a very bad thing here, and I'm not trying to defend that at all. Mickey says, that's my point. America believes that it's better off without me, so I'll just go where I'm accepted more as a black man, and I'm never fully accepted anywhere in Africa. And I'm never fully accepted anywhere in Africa. There's definitely some places that haven't been to these different places. Like there's definitely some places that are very accepting of us. So Pete says, I'm white. I'm white. The car video is horrible. It pissed me off so bad, and it hurt at the same time. Man, it's sad, Pete. Like I don't know what to say. As a cop, man, what really is shameful to me is when they try to defend these guys. You know what I'm saying? Not in every case. I don't know in that particular case if they defended the guy, but there's the one in Sacramento where I'm from, it's horrible, man. So the one where the kid, somebody calls the cops. It's at night. And somebody's breaking. Somebody in the neighborhood calls the cops about somebody breaking windows and setting off car alarms, right? The cops arrive on scene, and there's this kid. He's like 19 years old or something, and the cops think that's him, so they roll up to the guy, and the guy freaks out and runs. Shouldn't have ran, but he freaks out and runs. Right? He has nothing to do with breaking the windows that got broken. Had nothing to do with it. But they thought it was him. So he's running. His grandma's house is like down the street. Like that's where he was walking to before the cops like rolled up on him. He's running through to get to his grandma's house. And then they get him. The cops like are behind a barricade beside the house, and they're like challenging the guy. That means they're saying, "Put your hands up, drop your weapon if you have any, whatever," right? And then the kid, he's holding his hands up, right? He has a cell phone in his hand. He puts it up, boom, they kill him. And what happens to the cops? Nothing. It's just like the real sad thing is like they have to punish the cops. You know what I mean? They have to hold them to account, because if they don't, it makes our whole system look bad. It makes everything look bad. Like not just our justice system, it makes the whole system look bad. And I really hope that changes, but right now it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. M. Sway says, you skipped my question or questions. I don't blame the cake maker's decision, or he has a right. They, LGBT, are trying to push their agenda down everyone's throats. Acceptance, respect, just for them. Yeah, that's the whole thing about the one thing I don't agree with liberals trying to be pushy about it. I agree with you, M. Sway. I really can't argue. I can't disagree with you. I believe they should have definitely have rights. I don't believe that's a civil. I just so the thing is, the guy was willing to make cakes for other things, but not for that, but for religious reasons. And then if you try to mesh that with civil rights, like if you say, well, what if it was a black man and a white woman, and the guy said, I'm not gonna. Well, that's not like a religious. So you can't tie that back to like a religious reason. You know what I mean? Like that would be different in my opinion. So I don't. Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Even though I'm definitely a liberal in that sense, man. I think that they should have rights. They should have the right to marry. They should have the right to. You should be able to marry whoever the hell you want. Period. But to force the guy to do the cake, I just don't think that that was right. Personally, it's just my opinion about it. And if you happen to be LGBT, listen, like I support your cause, man. But that particular issue, I don't. The way that they're handling that, I don't agree with personally. Uh, Mickey says, dude, they saw a man lie on tape. They saw a man lie on tape, throw down a taser after the man shot him in the back, refusing. Yeah, so that guy, and they refused to convict him of murder charge. Didn't that guy get convicted? I know which one you're talking about. The guy who they caught him on tape. He shot a dude in the back, and then he tried to frame the guy by throwing. Yeah, the guy. That's even worse is the one with the woman who they killed, Jennifer Bland. That was so bad, man. That was so bad. But I thought they convicted the dude who they shot in the back. I thought that cop got. Did they charge him with manslaughter? Or I know that he got charged with something because that one was. Mickey says a kid was killed within 2 seconds because he was playing with a toy gun. I remember that one's in Ohio. That one was super sickening. And I don't think that I think those guys also got away with it too. Nothing happened with those guys. I don't think. I maybe if I'm not sure, but that one was really bad. That one was so bad. Even the mayor and the governor was like, holy crap. I think that guy got hit too. The guy in Ohio who shot the 8-year-old kid playing with a toy gun, by the way. And the way they pulled up on him too. They don't teach you that in school. They don't teach you to roll up on somebody and open fire. You know what I mean? That's not taught. It's not taught. That's why they should throw the book at these cops, man. The stuff that the cops are doing, here's the thing. The stuff that the cops are doing is not taught. They don't teach you to roll up on somebody and just open fire. They don't. They don't teach you to do excessive force is not supposed to be done. The fact that they defend them, when I say they, the Justice Department and the DA and all them, and they don't charge them with murder. They don't charge them to the fullest extent of the law. Instead, they suspend them, and then they like it's just not right, man. It's not right. It's really a bad look for America, that's for sure. I can't argue with that, Mickey. Why stay and keep fighting, and why stay because you can make more money? If so, money is no object. Why stay in America because of the bad food? Why? I don't know. I have my own reasons. Me personally, like I said, I mean, I return to the same thing I said before. Like, I believe every country has problems, like severe problems. You think our problems are bad, and they are. They are very bad. But other countries have as bad or worse problems. It's almost like you go to another country and you're trading one problem for another set of problems. And that being said, you won't have the problems we have here. You'll have exchanged them for something else. So, and the problems here we have are pretty bad, especially for black men. That's a fact. Mickey says Sandra Bland. Yeah, that's her name. That one's hard, man. He got time, but the jury didn't convict him. Yeah, it's ridiculous. M. Sway says, I'm old enough and most of I'm old enough, and most here know that black people have been getting killed by cops long before video. Yeah, yes, for sure, man, for sure. But now they're cell phones, and they're still getting off scot free. It's crazy. Yes, it is crazy. That's definitely a bad problem. So I can definitely understand why you would want to leave. Definitely. And I'm sorry that this conversation took a super dark turn. Blame Mickey. Mickey keeps asking questions. No, I'm kidding, man. But thanks, man. Thanks for the great conversation. I really appreciate you, man. Like, that's the thing about the U.S. See, that's another beautiful thing. Like, here we are talking about this together, and open, honest about it. Um, and I love that, And are those things problems? They're absolutely problems, man. Absolutely. Like I said, I got all kinds of family members who've been under the thumb of these bad things that are happening here. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, it's real, man. It's real. And being a cop, look, it's shameful. It's a shame. It's shame. I don't know what else to. I don't know what to say when I see it. I'm like, man. Even when I talk to my old cop buddies, and they say the same thing. They're like, damn, like what is happening here? You know, my buddy was a cop for a long time, and he's saying the same thing. He's like, damn, I don't know, like what are they doing, man? And we don't have answers. Don't have answers. Mickey says, my bad, let's talk about crypto. No, thank you, man. Thank you for bringing up these topics, man. We have to talk about it. I think the more open and honest we are about it, the better, the more healing can happen. That's definitely happening. Mr. Mike T. Man says, hey guys, going to roll out. Deep conversation tonight. Peace, love, and blessings. Thank you, Mike T. Man. Thank you so much for your continuous donations, man. Appreciate you. When you have another cup of coffee, think of us. Burley Khan says, did you see the news, the new movie trailer about called Black and Blue? No, what is that about? Black and Blue. Black and Blue. I have to Google that. Black and Blue. What is he talking about? I'm gonna research that. Black and Blue. Trying to bring up a browser here, but this thing is like going crazy on me. Black and Blue trailer. What is this about? If BrolyCon's talking about it, it must be good. Because him and I are on the same wavelength. Naomi Harris exposes corrupt cops. First Black and Blue trailer, man. Okay, I'm going to check this out. Definitely going to check that out when this is finished. Alright, guys, this thing is freezing on me. I think I'm doing too much. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let me see. M. Sway says, was heading to the Philippines in the fall, but wanted to see few other countries like Taiwan, Thailand. Also, what happens when I leave the Philippines and come back? Will that renew my 30-day stay? I believe so. I believe that's how it works, M. Sway. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. There's some guys here who really know what to do, but I believe that's what you do. What people do there is they stay. They like go there on a travel visa, and the visa for the Philippines is, I think it's over 30 days. I want to say it's 60 days, but I'm not sure. Don't hold me to that. But let's say it's 30 days. They leave the country for a certain period of time. I don't know how long they leave, maybe another 30 days. Then they come back and that renews it. And I don't completely know how it works, M-Sway, but it's something to that effect. They will they go there, they leave the country, come back, and then it renews. And that's how they are able to stay really long time on like a basic tourist visa. Right, guys? Like, correct me if I'm wrong. I know that they do that a lot in like Thailand, and they do it like because your visa only lasts like a certain amount of time. So it just like they do here in the U.S. too. Like some people only have like a tourist visa, and it only lasts for like 3 months or something. So they have to leave like every 3 months and then come back for another 3 months, something to that effect. So in short, I don't know, but hopefully somebody here on this call will know. I mean on this talk. VSK says, talk about penny stocks. I'm making a killing from them right now. VSK, where do you trade? Could you give us like a site, like where we can get some information on it? I'd be interested in something like that. And knowing more, I'd have to read up on it and stuff. Pete says, this doesn't compare to the violence at times. This doesn't compare to the violence at times. I would make my date black woman. I would get bad looks, even refuse service at restaurants. At some stories, it's degrading. Really? At some stores? Seriously? Where is this? Where is this happening, Pete? Is this in the South? Mickey says, I love my country. I still cry at taps and Star Spangled Banner, but the military brainwashed me. Yeah, man. I still like Mickey. Like I know what you mean, man. I'm not trying to downplay any of the bad stuff that happens here, man. I'm not. There's definitely some things I don't agree with, man. And I mean, like I said, man, I've been to a couple wars, man. I've seen some stuff, man, and I don't agree with it. And then here, we have problems here. I'm not, of course, I'm not stupid. I see this stuff happen. I just think the idea of America is great. Like the idea, like there's an inscription on the Statue of Liberty that says, "Bring me your poor, your downtrodden," and it goes on and on and on. It says, bring me what you got all over the world, and come here and have freedom." That idea, I know. Look, it sounds stupid to say that now, especially under these. They're about to send ICE out and start raiding homes and stuff. You know what I mean? And here I am talking about bring me your poor and your downtrodden and stuff. I know how it sounds, but the idea of America to me is amazing. And I think 1,000 years from now, when there's no more America, right, and there's something else, like there's no more nationalism or something, I think people are going to look back on this country, on the forefathers, like the brilliant people who created this country, and the people who fought to keep the ideals of this country, man. Your freedom fighters, your freedom riders, your Martin Luther Kings, man, the people who fought to make it real, man, that means something to me. The idea behind this country is amazing. The idea that Pete is is able to bang a black woman, a white man with a black woman. I think that's freaking dope. I think that's incredible, man. I think it's great. I love this country, man. I love what it stands for. I love the idea of it. I want it to work so bad. I really do. I really, really do. Yeah, but that being said, yeah, we have problems, serious problems, and they're not all in my favor as a black dude. but yeah, this is my home, man. I love this place. And I think that I'm gonna. That being said, I'm gonna go to other countries and figure out if I want to move. Like I would love to find a better place. If I find a better place, I'll probably move. If Canada's better, I might become a Canadian. You know what I mean? I've never been to Canada, so I don't know. But I've been many places. Mickey says, "You've been in the theater. You've been in the theater. You're just happy to be alive. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. Chill and keep life and light as possible." Yep. You're done fighting. You fought enough. Yeah, man. Mickey, man, I really I know you'll do well in the Philippines, man. Just Keep talking to me, man. I want to see. I want to see what you do over there. I want to see how happy you become with your girl, and tell us your story, man. I want to hear it. I love hearing stories of expats going over there and just living a great life, man. I love hearing it. I love it. Like I said, like one of my favorite things about being overseas is meeting those Americans, and not just Americans, but like Australians and Canadians and British citizens going overseas and retiring in Thailand or in the Philippines and having a great life the rest of their life. You know, I love hearing stories like that because I always wonder, like, I always sit those guys down and I'm asking them, like, well, how are you doing it? You know, what are you doing? Like, how are you able to do this? You know, so yeah, it does work, man. There's some people I know who've done it and they're just having a great life. So that's you, Mickey. That's you, man. I want you to be that guy, and I want to hear your story, man. Hopefully, maybe one day we'll be overseas together and we'll have a beer, man. We'll be talking about this crazy, stupid live that we're doing right now. Mickey said, "Oh, Canada." Pete said, "Yes, it is, man. I love the idea of America. I know we're not there, man. I know there's atrocities. I know what happened to the Native Americans. I'm not stupid, you know. I know we didn't get our 40 acres and a mule, you know. You know what I'm saying?" But yeah, I love the idea of it. The idea is incredible. Like I don't think there's anything like it. Has not been anything like. Maybe this was how Egypt was. I don't know. Maybe they accepted people from all over the world like we do. I just think it's incredible. I love it. Pete says, "Do you think Nairobi, Kenya is safe to visit?" Man, I really don't know. Pete, I would really love to know more about Africa because I don't know enough. All I know is what my boys have told me. Like a few of my friends have gone to have gone to. They talked a lot about Ethiopia, and Ethiopian women are. I don't know if you've seen, but Ethiopian women are so dope that my wife is checking them out. My wife's like, damn. Ethiopian women are dope. Anyway, so a few of my friends married some Ethiopian women, and they were safe in the cities there. But as far as Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya, I don't know for sure. I know there's a couple of YouTubers who are Kenyans or are in Kenya a lot. What's that guy's name? Oh man, there's a popular YouTuber who's from there who travels the world. I would check out the YouTube channels, man, and just see what's going on. See what's going on with the situation there, because I really don't know what's safe and what's not over there. I would love to Nairobi. I would love to check out. I would love to check out Ethiopia. I would love to check out Cape Town. There's some places I definitely want to go on a safari and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to go there one of these days. I gotta fill up my. I'm gonna go to Europe too. I want to go to Canada. I want to take Yuri to Australia and stuff. Those are all places I would like to go at some time. And Mickey said, "I'll catch up with you somewhere. I owe you and Yuri dinner." Yeah. Thank you, sir. Pete says, "I'll learn more about Black History all in June time for Juneteenth, for example." Man, I'm proud of you, Pete. I'm proud of you, Pete. Keep going, brother. Um, the Bruce Cantu says, "I'm ready to scoop up some free tickets to the Dominican." Oh man, I really shouldn't have laughed about that. That's a terrible thing to laugh about, since so many tourists are dying making news. My God, the Bruce Cantu. Come on, man. Come on, brother. Let's not make light of these serious situations in these dark times. If you guys didn't know, there's something happening in Dominican Republic where people are getting killed. They're like getting sick off Kool-Aid, disappearing in the ocean, and they're all American citizens, by the way. So just be mindful of Dominican. That being said, James is in and out of there, and nothing's happened to James. So, and James and Mark LTV and some others are in and out of there. I mean, they could probably tell you what's going on. I think Markel was saying there's just certain places you can't go as an American. Like, you can't just. And he thinks that that's what's happening. I've heard him talk in one of his lives and saying, "Man, why are these guys going here and going there? You know, that's why I don't do those things." Mickey says, "America is awesome. You're right. All places have issues. We talk about Trump and they talk about Duterte in the Philippines. Find your spot and chill. It's low profile time." You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about, Mickey. That's what I mean right there, man. You said exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. Pete says, "Thank you for your service." Thank you, sir. Mickey says, "I didn't know about Juneteenth until I was an adult and moved to Texas." M. Sway says, "Those are the deaths. Those are the deaths that are being reported." Yeah, M. Sway, I think you're right, man. Yeah, I just heard about that one. There was a black couple who went there, and they had this great time. They met this other awesome couple, and they're just having a blast. And their last day, they're leaving, and they never return to America. And so people are asking questions like, where are they? Where nobody. There's like missing people for like a few weeks, and then they find their car in the ocean. And the weird thing is, the wife is still in the car. No, the husband is still in the car. He was driving. He's still in the car, dead, in the ocean. And the ocean, I guess, has dragged the car out to sea somewhere. And they found that the wife is on land by the roadside. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say about that. And I don't know, like, if there was foul play. I just don't know. You know, it's just very fishy. Sad. But now, like, what's happened is that there's been, like, I don't know, 8 or 9 different Americans recently who've gone missing or died. What's happened now is they're just dying, you know. Mickey says in the Dominican Republic, every country is not cool with others taking their women. You think that's what it is, Mickey? Because the thing is, it's couples. Like a lot of times, it's the couple times that I heard about it. It's not like a single dude who's hoeing and being with all these Dominican women. It's like a couple. It's like a dude and his wife are having a vacation, and then they both end up dead. Or it'll be a dude and his girlfriend are there, and then they drink something and they get super sick and die. And stuff like that, you know what I mean? It's like that. So I don't know if it's the whole. It's really weird. I don't know. Like, it's if they're not careful, they're gonna lose. You know, they're gonna lose a good portion of their income, because that's tourist money right there. You know, if Americans stop going, I'm sure Americans are most of the tourists that are going there. We're so close, right? But if Americans stop going, why the hell are and it's that dangerous? You know, other people from other parts of, you know, UK and stuff are not going to go to Canada, you know, so they really need to look into that, like, what's going on. So I don't know. Wow, this has been a great conversation, man. I really enjoyed talking to you guys. Thank you, Mickey, for the very engaging thought. Thanks, Pete, for bringing up Africa. I really hope you tell us more stories about going there, about dating African women. I really love to hear those stories. I want to know more. Since Veronica is no longer with us, Veronica is no longer talking to us, I should say. Veronica is from Kenya, by the way. Super sweetheart, super cute. She sent us pictures. She's gorgeous. I wish she would come and talk to us about more about Kenya. But she's not here, so thank you for your input, sir. And thank you, Mr. Mike T. Man, for your donation. Thank you so much for the $10. And who else do I need to thank on this one? Broly Khan, thank you, sir, for appearing. Sagas, I see you. Big Rob, thanks so much. Masada. Who else? Instigator appeared for a little bit. Who else? KP55, my main man, who's been a continued supporter. Thank you, sir, so much for your support. Thank you for appearing. And everybody else, I'm going to end this. And Pete says, yes, please, Veronica. Yeah, man, you should talk to Veronica, man. She's fine. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's still married, but if not, we'll let you know. Because she's a keeper, man. Like, and if Veronica, if your husband is watching this, then he should step up his game. You know what I'm saying? I was kidding. Anyway, that's it, guys. I'm out of here. It's been a really long one. I really enjoyed this conversation. Just pretty much talked about everything. Take care, everybody. As Mickey says, peace. Out of here.